All right, welcome into the Turf Tapes, everybody, presented by Off the Wall. My name is Trey. We'll be hanging out this evening. We're in the middle of another fun arena and indoor football season. No shortage of things and stuff to talk about. We got playoff pushes happening. We got teams coming to form and all sorts of different leagues that we can dive into throughout the evening. Got a pretty good game picked out for you this evening from the 2001 Arena Football League playoffs, featuring some legendary names in the arena football scene. A couple you may recognize, a couple that may be some deep cuts we might have to research on, but we'll dive into that a little bit later. Before that, it's time to plug the socials. That's right, everyone's favorite part of the Turf Tapes. If you're not already following, please make sure you're following Off the Wall right here. Nailed it. At Off the Wall FB. We're on Instagram, X/Twitter, TikTok, wherever you are on socials. We probably are on socials. If there's some secret socials that I don't know about, please let me know. I want in on the secret. I want to build a community on these secret social medias, but it's in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We're also streaming live on YouTube, X, and Twitch tonight, with the replay being made available on Evergreen now in a couple of days. So it takes a little bit of time for it to get uploaded, but once it's up there for good, and they can't get rid of me. Wahaha. But the absolute best part of the Turf Tapes is the chat. We'll be making this as interactive as possible. So if you are watching live, hello, nice to see you. Welcome in. Hop in the chat. Let me know what platform you're watching from. We usually get a lot of folks from YouTube. I feel like we'll get some more from X tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Give me your hot takes. I mean, the spiciest arena football take you can possibly muster up. We want it. We want to talk about it. We want to volley it back and forth. We want to have that conversation with you. And I know our guest loves a good hot take about arena football, so please make sure you lay it on us. Questions and topics you want to talk about during the stream are welcome as well. And if you are watching live or watching a replay in the future, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel, liking the stream, but most importantly, peer pressuring your friends into doing the same. So we've got a very special guest tonight. He is very active in the social media world of spring football, whether it be with the UFL, AF1. You've probably seen his face on socials. Add him to the stage here. His name is Zach Keilman. Zach, thank you so much for joining the Turf Tapes tonight. How are things going in your neck of the woods?
That's going all right, Trey. I appreciate the invite, and this feels like a very special occasion to get to talk some old school arena football, and really like I was talking to you on the side. I'm really challenging myself here to make sure I'm kind of caught up, because a lot of people I got in 2019, so like I've been seeing it from a very different lens from a lot of other folks. But but besides that, lately it's not bad. Scene's kind of, I think for the most part, a little chilled out now, just kind of talking about like what's coming up with the playoffs and kind of seeding. So that's not too bad if we're discussing that over off season or off field and in office stuff. So I'll live with that. I will.
Yeah. We'll take it. At this point last year, we were like, man, we might limp over the finish line with this league. But now we're in a spot where like, we're actually having fun, who's in, who's out conversations about the playoffs. So we'll take that. We're taking steps in the right direction for sure.
I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, 100%. But if this is your first voyage with the Turf Tapes, you in the audience, yes, talking to you, welcome. This is something we created to be able to really lean into the community of arena football and live stream some old arena and indoor football games, talk shop about the teams, the sport, the players. Like I said, the chat usually brings it with some fantastic questions, hypotheticals, comments. So bring it. We want to hear it. We want to read it. We'll throw you up on screen. We'll do all that fun stuff. So if you got something, don't be shy. Throw it in the chat. But tonight's game is pretty topical for a number of reasons. And it is a 2001 playoff clash between the Toronto Phantoms and the New York Dragons. So the New York Dragons, of course, coming back this year as part of the ENTFLA, the Entertainment Football League Association. I think
nailed it right on the head. Yeah, it was
Let's go.
Great first try.
I was looking at the logo in my brain. I was like, ENT. Yes, there it is.
That's not going to get old to say on broadcast, by the way.
No, exactly. Yeah, they're gonna love that. And then the Toronto Phantoms. Toronto, obviously, being an interesting conversation because some international expansion has been mentioned for the AF1 in particular over the next couple years. So we'll dive into that as well. And big shout out to Tim Capper. I was going through some games on YouTube, and this game is on his YouTube channel.
Nice.
So big shout out to Tim for hosting it. So go give him a little love on the original video. Go like, subscribe, say, hey, saw this on the Turf Tapes. Love it. Let's keep it rolling. Pause vibes only. All that stuff. So Zach, what do you say we get this thing started and officially dive into 10th edition of the Turf Tapes.
Yeah, let's do this thing. I'm glad you picked this one because this is one I was kind of curious if it was on the docket when we talked about it. So
Yeah,
go right ahead. Yeah, I'm stoked. Let's go ahead.
let's do it. All right, where are we at? All right. All right, here we are. Oh, we already got some action in the chat here.
In the chat, got the action on the
Logan Foster can't wait to see some Damian Harrell. Oh yeah. You already know the vibes. Damian Harrell, let's go.
And this was a Harrell before he started getting the accolades. Really caught off in Toronto, from what I understand. So
yeah. How's that volume for you, Zach? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can definitely hear it. No, it's a good mix. Not overpowering both of us. We can still talk and still see the game.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I'm good.
Man, what if the real tapes were the turfs we made along the way? A plus job, defense kid. A plus job. Well done.
You think all the old rugs get turned into something else at the end of the day? Like, what do they get recycled as? You just have to wonder. Some of them, a lot of them are gone. Some of them are still around. So
that would be sweet. Like the front door of your house has part of the end zone from the original New York Dragons. How sick would that be?
Great talking piece when you have families over. Hey, just thought I'd show you this real quick. I do this with everyone that comes over the first time.
The part of the initiation, yeah. All right, we'll fast forward a little. Oh, let's watch this old intro.
Oh, glories of these. Oh, TNN
too. Oh Lord.
It's awesome.
Oh, so good.
It's the final years of the old logo too.
Yeah, I think they switched up to the old guy throwing it like maybe the year after this.
I believe it was 0203, but again, not my expertise.
Yeah, I got you.
The tempo turns up in the playoffs.
John Gregory.
Oh, legend. Absolute legend.
This guy was around for a very long time. Mark Stout, currently associated with the Massachusetts Pirates of the IFL.
That is right.
It's crazy to see some of these faces. You're like, wow, he's been around the arena and indoor game for 25 years.
It's yeah. I mean, think about this. That's 24 years ago. We're talking right now, Yeah.
That's a ton of experience.
Yeah. Some people still think 01 is yesterday, and it's man, it is not.
Bad news. It is not yesterday.
No. Absolutely.
Aaron Garcia, this guy, unbelievable talent.
There's not much else you can say besides just absolute GOAT right there, hands down.
He's the one who normalized having 100 touchdowns in a season. Like he made that like, yeah, that's what you should do.
This is the arena QB.
Yes. We got Charles Davies here. Look at this season, 4,500 passing yards, 104 passing touchdowns.
I mean, dear God, dude. That I think was even more like, I love like the yards and the touchdowns are one thing, but like, I mean, you're doing all this and the 70% completion percentage. Like,
yes,
Jesus Christ.
This Kevin Swain guy, he was a deep cut hidden talent. He was very, very good back in the day.
Yeah, I say researching the stats. This is a guy I'm looking for in this game that I really want to check out. Like, see skill set. Obviously, Harrell is another just more early stage before like really getting mainstream. Damon Harrell, but yeah,
right. Yeah, him and Garcia were so. I don't think a lot of people realize that the Iowa Barnstormers turned into the New York Dragons. So
that's a great little factual thing right there. FYI.
Yeah. So they turned into the Dragons, and Aaron Garcia and Kevin Swain, they were in Iowa, and then they went over to New York as part of the move. So they'd been teammates for probably 3-4 years at this point. By the time this game was coming around. And to answer Trey in the chat, yes, I see your question. I'll get to it on the Oilers in just 1 sec. Okay.
1 second. Let's get this great intro here.
Charles Davies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, like it's so weird with like, and I've seen a few of these older clips, and it's wild seeing the broadcast crews or people that were doing this at the time, like some of the arena bowls, like this arena bowl in particular. Brent Musburger was on the call for this, which is crazy to me to think someone of that high caliber is doing games like this. But that was where arena was at,
Yeah,
it was up there with being considered a high profile sport back at that time.
It was a perfect intersection because they were on their come up. the league was on their come up, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
of course, they met in the middle, right?
Oh yeah, lots of guys like that. It's nuts. That explains the stats because I was wondering because Pat O'Hara's stats were lowish when I was looking at this, and I'm like, had to
Mhm.
have been a replacement, and that makes sense why it says Salisbury's on the call as QB.
Wonder if he's related to Sean Salisbury.
That's a good question.
Salisbury, Chad Salisbury.
Welcome back, everybody, to Air Canada Center here in Toronto,
Let's see.
Ontario, Canada. It's New York against Toronto.
Not seeing anything blatant about it, so it must not be.
That might be a real deep cut search then.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the internet you'll find that.
They just both happen to be quarterbacks named Salisbury.
Can I just bring up because of these highlights? Like, look, I live out here. For those who don't know, I live out here in Phoenix, and the Rattlers being out here. Why can we just go back to permanent copper helmets? They look way better to me than the black helmets, and I don't understand. Besides maybe cost, why that's not the pick. They look way better on TV, and I think they're way cooler. So, just put that out there.
Yeah, they pop. I do like the white helmet on the all white.
That's not bad
uniform.
too.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a second. Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. The copper helmet, that's got to be the norm.
Speaking of colored helmets, oh my God, the red helmet for these were also so good, man.
Yeah, some of the draw ups for the New York Dragons uniforms for this year definitely draw some inspiration from the old ones, which I think was a nice little tip of the cap.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I think meshing new meets the older, like I think origins of the team.
Yeah,
and again, it helps when you got guys that were with the team in some regard that I think are trying to kind of infuse that. So very fascinating to see what that organization does because it's like its own thing. It feels like within that league, you know.
Yeah, a couple folks that are involved with it, like you said, were involved with it 25 years ago when it was a staple of Long Island. Mm-hmm. So it's like it makes sense to bring back some of those same folks, and it'll be interesting to see does it. It's not going to pick up where it left off, but
no.
How much ground does it make up, right?
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go, man.
There you go. Throw it to the fullback. First play of the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Great start. Need more like Sean McFarland types in the leagues right now, you know, or at least in AF1 again.
Yeah, Damian Harrell, Charlie Davidson. Charlie Davidson's another good one.
Yeah. Davidson actually was second team All Arena. I looked up for this season, so really great year for him too out of Toronto.
Connell Spain. I remember that name. I couldn't tell you why though. Maybe because his last name was Spain.
Yeah,
that's why I remember.
I mean, it sticks out. I
yeah, that's fair.
Oh man.
First and 10, balls at the 24-yard line of New York.
Okay.
Salisbury.
Nice step back. Nice throw.
Oh. Already over the boards. Good.
Just enough space. Just enough space there too. I was like, as soon as that shot went, I'm like, man, the bars.
Yeah, that looked like it could be a little dangerous.
You know, I get told all the time, it's like good teams, they need to cover these bars with foam. I'm like, as long as there's enough gap, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's real close.
Yeah, the camera angle does not do justice there whatsoever.
Not at all.
Oh man.
Oh.
Roller coaster.
Yeah, that was close. And there's Harrell right there.
I was gonna say, pretty good season, 1,300 passing yards or receiving yards and such. Plenty of touchdowns. Just some better years going on that year.
Ooh. Bounce off 2 people's hands. What we got?
Howard Stewart. Brad Wynn seems familiar, but that one's one I can't ring a bell on.
Leonard Conley, 5'9", 180-pound linebacker.
No way. Wow.
5'9", 180. He's for sure a wide receiver linebacker.
Yeah.
They're just hoping does the trick.
Man.
That's nuts.
Yeah, you do what you got to do, but
yeah,
no.
The defensive specialist is what was interesting to me for arena ball because everybody seemed to adapt this ideology of the DB has to be the defensive specialist.
Mm-hmm.
when that's not necessarily the case. Like you could have a defensive lineman be your defensive specialist if you want. It would just require a little bit more Iron Man on the back end, but you never really saw people take that chance.
Right. I mean, I think, and you definitely have this on lock where it's, best receiver on best DB, I think was always the ideology.
Right.
But I mean, hey, if you got someone that can just beat someone at the line, and I know that's hard to say with a quick passing scheme, like especially the older school stuff, that's hard. That's hard to say you couldn't pass up, because why use that guy on the other side when you can just, all right, save up your energy. Let's just get back and get around the edge every time,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was might have seen this from Shady Sports on X at one point over the past like couple years, where he brought up a good point about what if one of your offensive specialists was like your center, right? And it sounds a little crazy to begin with, but that makes sense. Like if you get a really good center, keep him fresh, alleviate any snapping issues. That's worth considering.
Now it's funny you say that. Now they didn't do this with the other version of this league that should not be named, but in the NAL in 22 or 3, when I was covering them, they did 2 specialists actually. So, and I remember Albany in particular, and someone in the chat actually, I know This Week in Arena Ball can clarify that if they want. I know for a fact they used one for center. Like that was, they wanted a consistent lineman and a passing threat on their offensive specialist. So that's not too out of the realm. But it's fascinating now that, like, I think the last gasp of the specialist era was trying to be what, I'll say it, AFL 3.0 was, and I think we're now fully past that is the thing. It's which, some nostalgia there, but the more I've like seen the specialists with the NAL trying it and this, I'm like, I can live without it. I get why the system didn't exactly stay around, and why Iron Man's kind of like cool, but you need to do the right thing with it. And the sport, the scene of football's moved on, I think, from that whole setup too.
Yeah, and when you have players making like really livable wages too, that makes it a little bit easier to digest to play both ways. When someone's making maybe $400 or $500 a game, that's a tough sell to be like, hey, make this limited amount and play both sides of the ball. Like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
you like the compensation's got to go up.
You definitely watch the lens of this stuff here, and you're like, yeah, you're absolutely right. The compensation back then, a little bit more justified because, it definitely wouldn't be right now. Like that, none of these leagues make anywhere near even a K a game. So, that'd be hard. Just be really hard.
That's a good question. Did the Phantoms play in the Raptors or Maple Leafs arena?
Yes, that's the same one actually. Fun little fact I was for this research. Rogers own the majority stake in this team. So the same people that own the now Argonauts in the CFL, as well as I believe Vancouver Hockey, So they own them for 2 seasons. And that's how they bought them up from the being the Connecticut Seawolves.
Interesting. Okay. Oh,
man,
that would have been sweet.
Look close. Something else I've noticed with this. Oh, I'll wait.
Yeah, we got a question here. Do the IFL or teams themselves do the broadcast of the games? Because they need to explain what happened with the stream. I'm assuming you're talking about the Quad City. Yeah, the Tulsa Quad City stream that cut out with under a minute left, with Quad City driving down by 8. That one, yeah. I think that the individual arenas are responsible for the feed, but they centralized how they were going about broadcasting the games through their partner. I think it's Visaic was the partner.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of both. Like the team is responsible for getting the
got our first TD. Sorry about that.
You're good. The team is ultimately responsible for getting the stream out, but that centralized hub, so to speak, or the command center that they refer to it as, is responsible for making sure everything is tidied up.
I don't know as much on the central portions, but pretty much, yeah. There's really the only one that doesn't, I think, have any. Actually, yeah, no, all of them are in crew stadium, like arena, like cameras and whatnot. I think the only game that doesn't have like a production side where it's like in stadium would be the Vice game on AF1. But every other team in any of these leagues, you're self-producing the entire thing. So you're relying on the arena and whoever's at the arena to be competent enough and have the right equipment enough to run this broadcast. So
Yeah.
much different setup than it was, as what we're watching here now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it is getting better. I will
Yeah.
say I love this year. It's been getting I feel like we're getting way past some of the things I saw 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. Some of the shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Something I gotta say as well, the spacing on this. I know the older games in the 90s, there's a little bit of clips I've watched where you have the sidelines. This one, it has the back wall, but the sidelines on here, they don't fully keep it tight like modern day. There's
Right.
maybe 5-6 inches like that, where you could still in theory call it out of bounds if you saw it on the line.
Yeah. There's been some plays that I've been watching some old games. They get ruled out of bounds because their foot stepped. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
sorry.
This goes against the integrity of the game. How dare you?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Chris with a good point. Hey, Chris, what's going on? I see the sports has moved on, but the timing of it is ironic with Travis Hunter and Shohei bursting onto the scene around the same time. Yeah, I mean, playing both sides and being able to go a couple different ways is it's making people superstars in this league before they play a snap in the NFL. So it kind of makes you wonder. There's more talent out there. Would they be willing to come and do something like an AF1 if they ever go back to Ironman rules?
Yeah, timing will definitely be the case. Your good point on the fact that right now the two-way seems like a very popular, you're a big star in sports. And I'll be frank, the Travis Hunter one I think is more fascinating. Shohei baseball, I think it's still impressive.
Right.
Football though, I mean, look, you're banging yourself up way more for this. And I know his physical conditioning I hear and I read is really good. But at some point, if it doesn't pan, if you aren't immediately impacting both sides year one, do coaches push back on that? Because the traditional in the NFL is, hey, dude, focus on one thing and be really good at that one thing. Maybe return footballs,
Yeah.
But if it pulls off, that's pretty interesting because I think it'll change some dynamics on how teams evaluate talent if they can find other guys like that, which is, they're still rare, but it's fascinating.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good stuff in the chat, guys. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Adam Snow from the world of football here. First mini helmet I bought with my own money was the New York Dragons. It is a great helmet. That it is, Adam. That it is.
Do you Trey? One thing I looked up with research and stuff. Do you know of the 09 never used Dragons logo before the league had to shut down for the season?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So there's one they used. They changed the color. So this was after they were just apparently selling from the guys who were owning. I forget the guy Wang, I think is, who owned the Islanders at the time. He was the one who owned the Dragons, and apparently as they were selling to I think the Silva family, it was they had a concept for a new logo that was a green dragon with silver and black.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. That's crazy looking.
Yeah, there's something that I came across as I was researching stuff. I'm like, this is pretty interesting. And apparently it was just, they bought the team and bad timing of league financial issues and the recession led to them just closing shop.
Touchdown. Get in.
That was a great extension there.
Let's go. Yeah, that's a very different logo.
It's so different vibe.
Yeah, that is no kidding. Let's see if I can see if there's a way to show this on the stream without messing everything up.
Conley getting in there. Leonard Conley.
Yeah, just look it up. New York Dragons 2009 logo. It's a very different.
Yeah, they definitely were. Yeah. They were definitely trying something, and I'm glad that the new Dragons went back to what was, I think, the more synonymous look. So
tried and true,
yeah, because the red, yellow, and black pops way more than what they were doing with this green or whatever they were trying to consider doing. So,
yeah,
locked in.
Good kick. I think Conley was on that Iowa Barnstormers team with Garcia as well.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Oh, you see his mouthpiece get knocked out there?
Oh, wow.
He just got popped a little and kept on going.
Garcia, Conley, and Swain, three Barnstormer guys.
Yeah, it's amazing because '01 was like the year of big market moves because you had this
Mhm.
team, they moved on for a new venue and bigger, trying to get New York to be a thing. New York
Right.
already had several failures, and then not only Barnstormers, but as one of our chat members would be sad to hear or remember this, the Firebirds moving to Indiana that year
That's
too.
right.
You
The
know,
real Firebirds,
yeah,
Indiana.
right, exactly. All big market relocations because of just like again different era. Trying to get bigger
Mhm.
TV numbers and possible dollars in, and kind of it's weird to look back at that, but that's part of what that scene was at the time.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, like, what if the Barnstormers stayed in Iowa and just continued to dominate that market? Are we
Right.
looking at a situation where they're like in Omaha, where they've been around for 30 plus years and they are football for that region?
Hard to say. It's amazing. I mean, you talk about like we say like small market, like, oh, I'm moving a team for a big market. Like that's weird to say now where it's like this market's pretty solid. I mean,
Right.
it's got like, I mean, we're talking like Prescott Valley where like it's got like 4,500 plus people in this area or
Yeah.
1,000 people in this area. That's pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
And then
Right.
you like look at the grand schemes, like it's actually really small, but people come out. So, that's good.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing with these arena ball markets. Like, I think that's part of the reason why I personally don't ever see the Georgia Force ever working in Atlanta,
Mm.
just because there's too much going on. There's way
Yeah.
like you are trying to get a sliver of a
Good
interception.
pick.
Oh, what's the foul?
It might be defensive.
A little contact there.
Yeah.
But like in Atlanta, you're trying to get a sliver of a giant piece of pie, right?
Mhm.
Where you've got the Hawks, you've got SEC football dominating that region for 7 months a year. You've got the Atlanta Braves dominating the entire Southeast for
Oh yeah.
9 months a year, and you're trying to sneak your way in there, and it's almost more advantageous to try to be the pie in a small town rather than get a small piece of a big pie, if that makes sense.
Oh no, I'm fully with you here. Honestly, great example of like we're talking about that Toronto in this game. So think
Yeah.
about this. So their season's going on as you have the Maple Leafs playing there and the Raptors. So imagine trying to compete with those two major and credit NBA and NHL still I think aren't at their full potential at this time.
Oh,
And there's a
there's
pick
yeah.
immediately after it
Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
was meant to be.
Yeah.
Shout. Is it shout? Wait, did they say showers?
Yeah. Shea Showers.
Okay.
What
What a name.
Yeah.
What a
This week in
name.
Arena Ball, Shea Showers, hell of a name.
Hell of a name. But I mean, great pick. This game, honestly, I'm glad you picked it because this one does come down to the wire, and I'm fascinated to see how this plays out. Not seeing it for the first time.
That big old Coors Light logo right there.
Oh yes,
No.
staple of the Toronto, the Toronto get up.
Yeah.
Next, if you ever want to start a team and steal his look, be sure to get in touch with Molson.
Let's do it. Ooh,
Oh, nice,
let's go, Swain.
very nice.
Nice game. He got it to Kevin Swain, the second-year man out of Wayne State. And all he has done has been a dominant receiver all year.
All he's done has been a dominant receiver.
That's all you can
That's
say
it.
sometimes. I don't know how you feel about this, but I know like sometimes we talk about broadcasters in like the modern day and like how much do they like some of these guys come in for the first time and maybe they haven't watched arena before, so they're like trying to like put the outdoor spin
Right.
on it, and it's like, yeah, see, this is where you maybe need to have done a little bit of homework because this is not the same. Like hearing a broadcaster go, well, wait a minute, isn't this like, for example, we think about like the IFL has the Rouge, the AF1 does not, and so like you're watching an AF1 game and you hear a guy go, well, isn't this a safety?
Yeah.
Like,
I was just
no, it's not.
that's a safety. That's a safety on the kickoff. It's like, well, no. It is interesting to kind of to see people figure it out in real time, though. Ooh,
That looked like he had it.
into the stands. It is funny to see people kind of work through it. Like you could tell they start to get it by the third quarter. where they're like, okay, I get a feel for it. But those first 2 quarters are usually like, what are you talking about? You are a crazy person.
It's always fun, once they catch on, and then like you like go into the next broadcast, like let's see if they even have more. How much more leg work did they do this time?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy,
Conley again, little Leonard Conley.
Hicks, yeah, that's another name I had done with reading. Had pretty good defensive stats on his regard for Toronto. Old uniforms are fascinating to me, like more loose and like kind of flowy.
Right.
Like look at all the jerseys that just have loose arms.
Yeah, the extra arm. Yeah.
Off that. Oh, that's what.
Oh, there it is.
What I don't get is like when I talk arena plays that I live for. God, the nets and bouncing it off, getting a pick, getting a touchdown. Yeah. Dude, I get like the instant dopamine reward from seeing something like that. I'm like, oh, come on, something happens. It's going to bounce. Yeah. I love this stuff.
He tried to throw it away, but nope, there's no throwing it away.
And those are the worst too if you're a QB, I imagine, because like you're like, either I'm going to overthrow this and I maybe get lucky and it goes under the bar, or I'm about to create like the worst possible turnover only in this sport. Only can happen in this sport too.
I mean, we saw it a few weeks ago. What was it? Southwest Kansas versus Billings, where Billings did almost the exact same thing. The quarterback was under duress. He just threw it and interception off the net.
That's just like what
for a touchdown.
It's like, what can you do? Like, I mean, at that point, you just got to have arena awareness. I mean, that's smart ball player. You're taught outdoor, but like arena's askew. But if you know how to read the rules, like that's why I love like watching Darius Prince. He's really smart at like arena rules, like wall catches and such. He's always watching out for stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat. And I think like it's what makes a great savvy vet in a lot of these leagues.
Right. You can almost position yourself differently than like you're not going for the ball. You're going for where the ball will bounce.
Exactly.
That's such a unique thing.
Now, in regards to some teams I've watched play, that's one of my favorite routes. For example, if we talk about pressure, just like get that quick underneath and just let these guys play in the turf, like the one that Law just did right here. I don't see that as much. I mean, some good teams do it, but like I don't see those like underneaths as much. It feels like teams are more focused on the intermediates anymore, which I'm like, you don't realize how valuable you can have it with like the short, like quick, let your guy run in space.
100%. Yeah. And what I'd really love to see is when like the high motion man gets involved and like they'll snap the ball like now before he even gets to the line and then just pitch it to him real quick. So like
completely throw the defense off. Oh,
exactly. That disrupts timing in a big way.
I love that stuff. Getting creative, like the motion man thing, and I'll tell you what, if you're a defender, like if you're like an IFL defender, I'm like good luck to you. Cause like 2 motion guys is like, I'm staring deer in the headlights if I'm like starting out my first year in this going like, oh my God, I have to pick one of them. And, hopefully it's not too creative. It's just both going straight forward, like CFL style,
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's fun.
No.
We got a timeout. Mark Stout want to talk it over. I'm going to go back to a question we got earlier from my guy, Trey. Trey. What we got here? He said, you think my Oilers are up there with Arizona and Bay Area and being the best teams in the IFL, or at least the best team in the East? I think so. I think Tulsa is a very talented team, especially in the East. Quad City with Daquan Neal is obviously a very different story. They're 6-0 with Daquan Neal. They're 0-2 without. You can do the math there. They're a much different team with Daquan, but I think anytime you have TJ Edwards, you have a fighting shot to not just make the playoffs, but make some noise in the playoffs. Hopefully he'll be able to get over the hump with in the playoffs this upcoming season. But yeah, I think the Oilers are right up there. They've got the defense to do it. You've got TJ Edwards, who's capable of dropping 8 touchdowns any given day. I think they're up there for sure.
Yeah, I would say like just having TJ Edwards as a weapon puts you anywhere up top to like keep up with anybody big in the IFL. Yeah. So, it just comes down to, and I think when you get to that point where you're having like you're in that upper echelon of teams, we see like execution and just not being like not flinching. You know, like a lot of these teams, they do so great at making sure that efficiently most of, if not all your possessions, you score or you do something with it. And that's for any of these 50-yard leagues. You know, the best teams, they go by the principle of we score every drive. That should be standard in any 50-yard league. You know, don't rely on your defense. Always get the offense to work first.
Right.
So, and they can do that. I think it's just, you know, you can't have drives off. And especially against like I think like a Quad City or even Green Bay, who's come on in last year or so and has been like doing a great job recruiting new talents and getting they're just good. Like East especially, it's good quality talent right now. So yeah.
I will say, though, if there's a team I'm buying a lot of stock in for the second half of the season in the IFL, it's Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay is about to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams.
I think you're right.
They're going to be unbelievable, especially with some of the reinforcements they got coming in.
They're just fun to watch. Like they're chaotic fun. Whenever I get able to watch clips, like Max Mailer is freaking just chaos, but like he makes it work. You know, it's great stuff.
Arena football one. I thought I was safe from Braden.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Mr. Titus. No.
Oh, poor Billings fans.
Poor guy.
Oh,
is that Law of Orlando Predators fame? I think it is. I think it's the same. Is that Vince Carter?
That is Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, let's go. Rocking the Velcro visor.
You know this is peak Raptors right here.
Oh yeah.
He's right there on the side. I love this.
He's on the bench. That's incredible.
I love this.
Oh, he caught it. Wow.
Nice stuff.
How did he catch that? You snagged it with one hand?
I'd say perfect timing throw right there. But yeah, the catch was even more impressive.
Yeah, no kidding. Huh?
Yeah, brought it in nice.
Just
took the hit.
But that's something to watch, especially with Garcia. Like, by the time he hits his plant foot, the ball's out of there.
Like here's
gone.
Here's the thing, and I think actually, let's see this play. Oop, gotta get out. There it goes.
Swain, let's go.
Got those hops. Wasn't gonna let that one bounce off the net.
No.
Slow start to this one too. It's because already in the second quarter. Can't believe that. What I was trying to say with Garcia, though, it's like I think, you know, we do have. I feel like the position is evolved a lot. You know, I think like you and I especially have off screen have talked a lot about how like I think the indoor style is blended a lot more into arena and like how I think sport does evolve that way. But the teams that do go under center, I feel like it's not bad to look at like tape from like Garcia days or like any like those schools because you know, if you're going to go the old school, like under center, you really need to perfect the quick passing game. Like you have to get it out 2 seconds or something like that. You know, you can't wait 3 like a traditional, or otherwise most of the time you're going to get screwed or you're going to panic, you know?
Yeah.
It's either that or you run indoor style like Second Southwest where it's like, okay, you're going to do shotgun. We just need to do better protection, and you need to either make a quick decision like immediately once you lose that second of snap. So,
right,
you know, that's what it's different era now, you know, in that regard.
And I think that's something to consider too, where you can look at all this old tape all you want and look at all the under center stuff. How many quarterbacks going through high school? Oh, that would have been a deuce.
Yeah, it would have been a deuce today.
Oh, that would have been a deuce. Add that 2 points to the bank. We'll see if that comes back to.
Never mind. I'm more impressed it bounced off correctly to get out there for the return.
Usually it gets stuck up there. Yeah. But like, how many players going through high school and college now ever take a snap under center?
For real.
So many of them run spread offenses. So many of them are in the shotgun from middle school on. So it's also something where you got to play to your strengths of who you got, right?
Yeah,
so
I mean, you saw the I don't know if you watched any of the Gruden QB class stuff this year. The Jackson Dart video, like that one was very telling of like this is modern day quarterback. And this has gone around. He says, "Hey, show me your snap count," and he just does this.
He claps.
he's like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, that's all we do. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like Gruden was just like disgusted. That's like modern day like QB, but that's what they're taught. It's like it's not simplified breakdown. Like just get it back there and just have them throw it. Don't worry about the mechanics as much with like pre-snap stuff, and that much different QB outdoors, and that translates to what this is, which I mean, that it's like I said, you see it in the IFL, it's transition more like that. And even in AF1, there's under center majority, but there are teams like, say, Salina and Southwest that they commit to that shotgun and they're trying to make it work and have made it work at times, especially Southwest this year. Jalen Morton's just doing his own thing. So,
right. Yeah.
There's the interference.
A little DPI on the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, 2. Okay. Which one do you want?
Yeah, make a choice.
Yeah. Well, we got 76 people watching us here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Zach. That's pretty sweet. So thank you everybody for hopping in here, joining. If you joined late, welcome. This is the Turf Tapes. We're watching the Toronto Phantoms versus the New York Dragons, round 1 of the AFL Playoffs from 2001. Big shout out to Tim Capper for having this game on YouTube. So go give him some love on YouTube. Give a like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And while you're in the mood, do the same on this channel too.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not watching on YouTube, hop on here, subscribe. We got another episode of Off the Wall coming this Thursday, dipping our toe into the Arena League world. So a little teaser for y'all out there. And we got some good stuff down the pipeline as well. So
best in the biz is Off the Wall. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Zach. And we got Zach here, everyone.
Yeah.
Go give Zach a follow on socials as well.
Rock and rolling, man. Let's keep at it. All right, Salisbury, let's see what you got. Time to lock in.
First and 10 at the 21 of New York.
That wide loop.
Ooh.
Look at a screen, I believe they're trying to set up there.
Yeah, trying to set up
maybe like a tight end screen. Or no, that was definitely just a slip screen. Yeah. One problem: gotta get off your blockers.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that's a big part of that.
Yeah, well played defensively there, but yeah. I do like how
we need to mic up the coaches. We need to mic up the coaches. Get in the headset. Oh, I can barely hear it.
Modern tech. Hopefully, we can see one of these leagues embrace that a bit more. I've seen both. I've seen like the F1 and IFL somewhat tried to experiment with this. I'm curious which one pulls the trigger and goes full bore into that in the next year or two, because I think one of them will.
Yeah. Well, if you watch like late 2010s games. Ooh.
Oh man.
Incomplete. Okay. If you watch late 2010s games, you'll see Ari Wolf on the sideline, like interviewing Saya Burley, like, all right, what's the play call? He's like literally on the field as he's giving the play call. And like, you could tell he's like, we're running 2 hooks in a post. So it's like, all right, back to you guys, 2 hooks in a post. And it's like, all right, cool. That's pretty neat.
That's a great one-on-one right on the side. Just couldn't get the hands down. But yeah, I'd like to see more of that type of stuff, because I mean, it's not even like an arena thing. Like, this is just like modern sports. Like, what can you do to like entice or make it more engaging?
Right.
It just feels like a perfect thing for this stuff. We talk about like it's supposed to be like basketball but football principles in some ways, with like being on the turf like this. So.
Now that I know Vince Carter's on the sidelines, I'm looking for him every
You're
single
trying
time
to see if he can spot him
over there. Yeah, I'm like, look for the Velcro visor.
It kind of looked like the side he was on, but
he's got to make sure he stays with it, because you know what else he is tonight.
Did you see the sideways baseball cap? Very early 2000s. I'm sorry. Look at that guy. You knew he was pulling up on the spot.
Look at him. Oh, Malibu's most wanted. Look at him.
That's cold.
That's unironic too, and that's the best part.
That's the if you ever watch South Park, that's the guy that's like, this stuff is whack, man. I don't know why I'm here, man.
He's killing that. He's killing
the sideways cap. Full not unironic there.
Over the middle. Don't hang me out to dry.
A little run play.
There you go. Great blocking for that. Oh,
Down, he's down.
so close.
See, that's the thing. Like, look at this. This is not reinventing the wheel by any means.
Not at all.
High man motion takes the defensive specialist out. This guy usually cracks a linebacker and then just let the running back go. Yeah, the slot wide receiver takes the defensive end. The guard here pulls around, and then you've got a guard on a undersized linebacker. Like,
right. And I mean, for this, it's traditional run, but like the thing is, like, if you don't have someone close to the line like that, you're going to be one man basically unblocked. You're going to have to beat a linebacker either way, with any of these runs, which if you're going to go outside, you might as well overcommit to making like a strong side type of setup.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
You're absolutely right. The motion man, like, you're already forcing the defender to play back because he knows he's playing that motion guy.
Yeah.
And he's going to not want to play man right at the line. So, that's a good call for a run play there,
No longer one of my life ambitions coming up.
Great stats, like this is just classic Arena, like 58 yards on the season,
2 yards a carry,
2 yards a clip, 8 touchdowns. You can't make this stuff up. Get in.
Oh, that's another great play. Quarterback draw behind the running back as a lead blocker.
But did you see what I was saying about the sideline? They have a pylon, like a freaking pylon, not even a line, because they have just enough of an outside.
That's insane.
Just beat the pylon.
Yeah, I love the step back, quarterback draw, follow the fullback. Very easy when you got a big old lad like that. 6'5".
Absolutely. Well, some of these guys are so mobile like this. I mean, like I said, can you imagine like I said, we saw like Jalen Morton, or like I imagine like we can go like Dalton, like Dalton Creed there as well.
Right. Oh, and they show the replay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, you just gotta beat one guy.
Laid the wood down on 28.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. All right, here's a good question, Zach. List the 5 best fan bases in all of arena football across all leagues.
Oh boy.
I know what Trey is trying to bait us into doing, so we'll see if we include that. But
okay.
I'm thinking
get it.
Oh.
Well.
Would have been a rouge.
Yeah, I know. It just sets up back down, deep in your own territory. No big deal.
I think top 5 in no particular order. Probably Firebird's got to be up there. For sure, got to be up there.
It's definitely in there. Yeah, I think you can't say it without. So yeah.
Yeah, the Rattlers, just a legacy brand, been around for 30 plus years for a reason.
I'll throw Sharks in there.
Yeah,
another legacy
Sharks
one,
really
stayed
good.
around since. Yeah.
I'll throw Tulsa in there. There you go, Trey. I know that's what you were hoping for. Tulsa has is like, they find a way to pack that place out.
I mean,
it's leaning into that ECHL partnership, right? Where they already had a fan base built in.
A ton. Absolutely a ton. Even more impressive when you consider that, like, I think for the fact that they decided, they were ballsy going, let's call this team the Oilers, just like the Tulsa, which, maybe that's not, maybe that's not ballsy. Maybe it's just like, association with the entire brand, screw it.
Right.
Oilers, they're still playing, go buy tickets.
You buy a Let's Go Oilers shirt, you can wear it everywhere.
I'm trying to think what the 5th would be, and I'm kind of torn on this pick. Did he get it? Oh, it says he got the catch. Okay. So I'm a little torn on this with like just kind of analyzing, because I'm based on this year. I'm torn between either SWK or Quad City. And I think we're gonna lean a little Quad City, but I want to bring up Southwest Kansas up, because here's the deal. I have a lot of respect for that organization, for the fact that there are a lot of people that felt they were a team that did not deserve, or were not one that was going to be a legitimate bigger arena team. They have beaten every test through every adversity, and I gotta give them a lot of props. They're actually now one of the like cream of the crop, good like example teams in this business. So
Right.
I think Quad City would be my fifth if I had to throw it, but like Southwest Kansas is definitely an up and comer, and they seem to get better every year right now.
Right. That makes sense. And I was in that camp. I'm not afraid to admit it, where I was like, Dodge City, Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
what we're going with? I was like, all right. But yeah, like you said, they've proved that they belong. So good on them. Coach Thomas does an incredible job of recruiting talent and finding ways to make it work and doing that unorthodox, untraditional arena style, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that gets a lot of, like I say, he gets a lot of praise, I think, for his recruiting. Like it's pretty impressive stuff. He doing 2 coaching gigs a year and also be able to find guys that specifically fit your need for your arena or indoor setup. That's really good.
And I think I caught on the broadcast that the defensive coordinator is the superintendent of Dodge City Public Schools. So it's like they're wearing 3 and 4 hats at a time down there in Dodge.
It's as local as you can get, Like that is as hyper local type of like high school vibe as you can get. But that is cool. Like when I went to Northern Arizona, that's what I loved about the entire setup. They do that whole like local small town feel to a perfect aesthetic. And it's everyone comes together, everyone's involved with this. It's great. So that's not a bad thing to have in this sport. Honestly, it's really damn good if you can have that much community support like that. So yeah, good stuff.
So I paused it here just because I could not admire the not dragging their feet graphic. A plus work, TNN. A plus.
2001 Dragons graphic guy. A plus.
Yeah.
Kevin Swain's stats though too. 1,800 yards and 43 TDs. My God.
Good Lord.
My God.
A good shooter in basketball. You ride the hot hand while you.
I did see someone bring up like Fisher's not brought up. I'm like, look, I lived in Indiana. I'm like, we'll see. They picked the right market personally, because history says you shouldn't go to Indianapolis. You should go outside and find like Noblesville or like an outside city like that. As a guy who grew up as a Hoosier, I'm going to wait a year to be determined. You got to keep consistent. I think that they will be that, but I'm not. It's a first year team, so I can't really put them up yet like that.
Yeah, you need to wait it out a little bit and be like, okay, are they showing up because it's the new thing in town, or are they showing up because they're in it for the long haul, right? And right now it's just way too early to tell.
Yeah. But I think there's a good, like I said, Fisher's was the right choice. It's an up and coming city in Indiana, and they're one that wants to get separated from like Indianapolis as like its own thing. So it was a good pick and a great event center to pick up too. Clear out the eye. Gotta be able to see what you're doing, man.
What are we doing?
Turf rash or something like that?
They're massaging his eyebrow? Oh, contact.
Ooh. Oh, contact lens. Oh, man.
Oh, that's not good.
Yikes.
trainer may be wearing gloves, but at the same time,
easy now.
Yeah, I'm like, gotta skip through that.
Yeah, it's like, well, Jesus. Someone's gonna get creeped out. Like, what is this street?
Yeah, we're just watching people get poked in the eyeball. Just normal stuff over here.
Medical analysis videos were turf tape. We're actually doing athletic training.
Yes, exactly. Joke's on you. It took me 10 episodes to get to what I really want to do. Talk about athletic training.
I had to be the bait and switch guy.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Let's see here. It's actually a great deflect. I had to get up almost damn near the arc of that pass to get that knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Almost halfway through the second quarter. Here's Garcia on the 2nd and 10 at the 15. And
oh.
Beautifully done.
Through the hands. Holy.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
One pass there. That might have been another one, don't you think?
He threw 5 touchdowns on the season in the last game against Toronto.
Just the last one. Fewest of the season, by the way. You see that? You see that?
Fewest of the season.
Great little nod. You know, yeah. He was he wasn't on it that night.
He was underperforming. He only had 263 and 5 touchdowns.
No big deal.
What a bum.
No big deal, man.
Oh, tip
that's
again.
Another. It's like freaking deja vu.
Get it over the line, Garcia.
It was the exact same location Brown was in just 2 plays ago.
secondary receiver almost had an
Mass Pirates Nation, what's going on, man? How we doing tonight? Thanks for checking out the stream, man. Appreciate you for being here.
Heyo. Locked in.
The linebackers have to stay in the box area. All right, number 21, Kerry Brown has to stay in the box.
Yeah, I mean, the broadcast ain't wrong. It's partially because he can't really get out of there, but like you're throwing it at the exact spot where the Jack linebacker's chilling. So
He has no choice. Like, that's all he can do.
right, get some arc up, man. You know this.
Clay Rush, another great name.
12 to 23, as long as 53, and he's not been on a good roll.
Ooh, man.
Ooh.
Oh,
here
we go. Return.
Oh, went over. Damn.
Oh, and oh, wow. Camera's
It's good. If you're gonna
went
miss,
over.
you're gonna miss. Missed all.
Yeah, might as well.
Don't put it in play.
Just freaking kick that. Just pound that sucker up there.
Yeah. Kevin Swain having 43 touchdowns, and the next dude have 22 less is wild. Yeah, Kevin Swain was a guy. He was very, very good. Whereas this week in Arena Ball says Kevin Swain was a dog.
Yes, he was. Oh,
Such a
yes.
dog.
It's 10 feet above the ground, right? Or was it 15 feet across? You know, that's way less than what you get in NFL or college. Or
I'm so used to the crossbars. I know the old school nets, like with those like single bar. But I'm just so used to like my era of like catching up with this game is just like the very like intricate like woven crosses.
Yeah.
So
Look at that.
oh, great job displaying the goalpost stuff here.
Now this is a very cool graphic.
I know it's hard to do stuff like this with like setups that we have currently, but there really needs to be a better explanation on like equipment and rules in these leagues. It's still not done well enough for any of these leagues yet. Like whoever can do it is going to do a great job of getting more fans, in my honest opinion, because like that is a hurdle when I talk to people about this league. Is like, well, you got to go to the rules. Like, and I don't think they do it enough on broadcast to like it's words, but it's like, what do these words mean? Show it on a camera, like what's happening, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's a great example. And it's not the easiest thing in the world, but keep in mind, this was 24 years ago.
Right.
They were able to do it 24 years ago.
And hit the net on kickoff. You do that.
I think they could figure out something for in 2025.
You would think, you know, I'm wondering what a solution would look like, and I think both of us just need to talk to teams and like ask, but I think it just has to happen more, you know, like just consistently keep the audience up to date, because you never know who's going to be on their first game. Like that's a great thing to just have in your back pocket, you know, if not pre-made package or something like that. See what the flag's about here.
Salisbury's a big guy back in the pocket. Nate Bell flushed him early.
Oh,
roughing? No.
I don't think this was horse collar era, so
yeah, pre-TO.
Yeah.
Double teaming you too. So any guy can beat a guy one-on-one, he's got a good chance to get back to the quarterback.
Single formation defense.
Oh.
The nose guard did not have his hand on the ground.
Oh, yes. This is a great example, right? I love this. Got to line up correctly. You know,
I've seen some. This has happened on field goals a lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. More times than you would think, where like the center will quick snap it because they see the D line is not aligned, and so they quick snap it. Chaos happens. They miss the field goal. You're watching. You're like, what the hell just happened? But then the center knows we're getting 5 more yards, and that could be an automatic first down in some situations. Just by being heads up and realizing, all right, the nose guard's he's dicking around. He's just standing there. Like if I snap this right now, we get a free 5 yards. So it's an interesting rule, and that's something that you got to be cognizant of.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people don't think about the lineup or the like heads up or like certain like alignment rules, you know, because even like, you know, I'm talking about rushing on the outside. Well, you still got to be inside that shoulder enough to be even qualified when you're on the line for a defensive tackle. So, you know, something to keep in mind.
Another deflected.
A lot of deflections this game, yeah.
That's disconcerting for a 6'5" quarterback to have so many balls.
Yeah, that's a great point. A 6'5" quarterback getting a ball.
Right, getting knocked down.
That's not good. I'll need to fix that.
Stout be like, come on, man. How is this even happening?
The ball is 7 feet in the air when it's being thrown. How is this happening?
Dude, it's time to lock in. Coach, I've never heard that before. What's lock in?
What are you talking about?
Are you from the future? There we go.
little hook action.
Yeah, another great example, just short route, let the receiver do its thing, because I mean,
Yeah.
all these guys bail so deep. Like I watch IFL games, I know that they're trying to protect against it, but like there's so much room in the like low to medium section of these fields where it's like, dude, just, if you pound that section and then you open up the deep shots, like that is gold to me.
Yes.
Like AF1 is the exact same way. A lot of these, like I said, I know you and I we talk a lot of we talk Wolfpack football, and we see that. And I'm like, dude, the short game is available all the time. Start giving some dump offs, give some hooks,
You have an incredible wide receiver core. Give them the ball.
Like I want more of that to be in the game, because it's like you don't always have to go for the home run. Like there's some fun plays in the middle. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy that like that could be a whole
a ref cam.
Yeah, ref cam.
All right.
Let's go, ref cam.
One ref cam.
Let's go. See, this was 25 years ago. You're telling me we can't strap a GoPro to a ref right now?
This is
trot 'em
awesome.
out there.
Well, okay, so funny you say that. That's not so. I don't know which. It's a smaller league. I forget which. Actually, I'll break it up. It's one of the AIF teams.
Okay.
One of them strapped a GoPro to a running back. Now they didn't do it live, but they basically had a GoPro on this guy's head. Great
good
throw.
catch.
Yeah. Perfect touch.
Oh boy, Ty Law.
That was a really, perfect touch on that throw. And just like that, looked like New York was going to be able to take advantage into some blown opportunities on possessions.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be efficient with those possessions, man.
That's a stop.
Mhm.
That's a stop.
Phantom madness.
I love the era of spray painted bed sheets. The first spray painted bed sheet that I see in a 2025 arena game, I will be in love with that team forever. I need it back.
That is a very era thing right there.
Yes,
for arena football.
You haven't seen it in 20 years.
Feels very long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it all. Now he gets to get his hands on the ball one more time.
I was watching an old game. I think I posted a GIF thread of it on X. It was I think it was the Tampa Bay Storm. I want to say it might have been against the Firebirds. It was the Zubaz era, mid 90s.
Okay.
Tampa Bay was still playing at Tropicana. Like that's how old it was. And there was a bed sheet sign that says Miami can have baseball team. We've got arena football. I was like, that is so funny. And 30 years in hindsight, like, yeah, you got an MLB team. Joke's on you. We got an AFL team. Like, what? That's incredible. That's insane to think about.
That is so different. Oh man. Yeah, perfect
bed
placement.
sheet to Amazon cart.
Nice,
Let's
Chris.
go, Chris. Let's go.
He uses his hands to catch it. Not a
High points it. Let's go.
That's right where it needs to be. Unless you're going to get that DB getting up there, which I mean, I don't know if we just didn't have the leverage to do any sort of athletic jump there. It's a perfect spot.
I'll tell you what, if I tried to dance like that, the trainer would be out there helping me off for a full hamstring.
Charles Davies, let's go.
That's gold. Even Mark Sims are just killing it right now. Oh, spitting on the turf. What was that?
Unbelievable. Mark Stout, have some class.
What's going on, pal?
Sean King back to 13. 17 yards on that return.
All right, 55 seconds left in the first half. New York's got the ball. We could easily see 3 more scores here. Easily.
I would say that's a good chance.
Easily.
How fast does Aaron want us to get this one down there?
Right.
Big stops. I mean, it should be. It should be.
It should. It should be an official team stat.
I love one of the reasons I love the sport so much is because I know, like the NFL, it is possession battle and how efficient you can be. But I really think like it's almost a flip because the NFL, if you get a score, it's like, oh, good, we got that score, and that's great stuff. And I think you're less likely to on every drive. This one, it's a reverse of it's like, okay, we expect to score. It's almost more the pressure's on the defense. Oh, thank God we got this stop. It's not often we're gonna get this stop at all. So like I would love that to be a stat. I mean, quite frankly, I think that's something that when we talk with people about this game, that like that's something you should look out for. It's like expect offense, but like be really keen to like if you get a missed field goal or if you like get a turnover, or how they use the drive to get points or if they don't get points, that
Right.
comes to bite you in the ass. And I pardon if that's not allowed on here.
Ref cam. Let's go.
Between two defenders, you know you're going to take a pop.
Let's go. Ref
You
cam.
take a pop.
Yeah, I mean
Take a pop.
it's true. Like it's something. I think that's a good point. Like like in the outdoor game at the end of the first quarter, if the game is 7-3, you're like, all right, we got ourselves a good game cooking up here.
Oh yeah.
If it's 7-3 at the end of an arena game, you're like, what is wrong with you people?
Defensive battle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like gross. No, thank you. Unsubscribe. Do not want.
I'll come back later. I'm gonna go cook some food. Tell
Yeah,
me when the
right,
score
yeah.
gets up.
Tell me when this gets good.
Tell me when they start actually hitting it. I was about to say caring, but they do care. But like, just saying, man.
Oh, they're just letting the clock roll.
Yeah, maybe just want to get that tie if they can, or 1 point possession lead, or 1 point lead.
Look at that juke! Good.
Oh, that was great.
Lord. Oh, that was nasty.
Oh, man, slips on the concrete.
Oh,
Dude, that was
Swain,
that was
dog.
nasty cut. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Give me that glorious highlight.
Yeah, give me that
Jesus.
replay.
It was beautiful.
Kevin Swain, good Lord, man.
I mean, it's like you should definitely had that extra gear once he got that juke and stiff arm. Just no one was going to catch him.
All right, man. I'll do the replay on my own. Damn, TNN. Come on, man.
Guess broadcasters weren't perfect back then.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, so he catches it on the wall. A little hitch, nothing too crazy. Whoop.
Oh, he just broke his ankles.
And that plays into exactly what we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throw it short, let your guy make a play.
Yeah,
The ball doesn't have to travel 20 yards through the air to gain 20 yards. You can throw a 4-yard out and let the guy cook. Like, let him do his thing.
Right. I mean, look, think about it. So the turfs in this game too. Like we see more of these teams, IFL especially. They're putting in like AstroTurf style like stuff where it's like actual like you can dig the cleats in and like run.
Oh yeah.
I mean, imagine what you can do in the open field if you have more like an outdoor feel on instead of like these tennis shoes setups like the older turf.
Yeah.
That was freaking. Oh my god, bro, that's just the type of stuff you put in a highlight reel.
Yeah, that was awesome. And something else I noticed as we were watching that, I didn't notice this before, but look at the detailing on the numbers of these jerseys. Like when Swain turned his back.
Oh, look at the little,
he's got a little flame on the corner of the numbers.
That's branding right there. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody's numbers has a little corner
Mm-hmm.
that has the flame on it. Garcia's got it.
Yeah, that's like a brand kit thing right there.
That's those subtle little things where it's like that's theirs. Like that makes their jerseys unique, and that's something I like about that. And especially like even look at the font of this. It's drastically different than
very swooshy. It's a ghost, so you want to kind of have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't look at that and then just tiptoes it because I mean like you got that line right there. That's dangerous. So, man,
that poor man's ankles is correct. Good Lord, that guy. God,
so true.
Adam Snow here for the uniform talk. That's right, Adam. We love ourselves a good old uniform. The little details are unbelievable.
You know what, Trey? I think this is a good top five. What do you think of top five unis right now in the sport?
Great question. Are we talking just base home aways? Or are we talking like alternates too?
You know what? I think whatever fit you think is best. So we don't have to pick like a whole kit. Do you have like a specific like fit that looks well to you or good to you?
I really like the Albany orange with the black on the shoulders. I think that looks really, really cool. The Bay Area's black helmet, white jersey, black pants look is so cool. It looks very, very slick. It is very nice. I like Quad City's entire set, especially their halfway to Halloween ones they had this past weekend. Those were so cool with the custom nicknames on the back. It was just so cool.
Very creative stuff. That one's really good. They actually they're I think it was John Deere corn like jerseys from the year prior. That one was one that I was like, man, that's cool too.
It's very cool. Like everything Quad City does uniform wise is very, very cool. They find a way to make everything work. But if you're in the chat, let us know what you think is the best uniform, and it could be AF1, IFL, NAL. You want to go deeper than that? Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Let's pull up some TALs. Let's pull up some ENTFLAs. Let's get crazy.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, I Quad City always just does some stellar work. I think personally, with the right combo, like the red alt for Vegas is one of my favorites in terms of jersey.
Helmet.
I love their helmets. I think it pops so well with just that extra sheen. But the red alt's like black pants. That's what I gotta go with myself.
Yeah. Oh,
getting tough. Oh.
Easy.
Not by the entry door. Not by the entry door.
Yeah. Do it anywhere else.
Don't let the teams get involved.
Why would you do something like
and John Gregory's like, hey, what am I doing here? Get the hell away from me.
It's like, how am I in the middle of all this?
Still 10 seconds.
You think they're sick of looking at each other, and with the playoff stakes being what
it should be noted these were like conference rivals here, so definitely were going at each other.
Davidson puts it back in.
Charlie Davidson's like, get out of my face.
Oh yeah.
Look at the coach in the background. The coach in the background's like,
not in the chin.
Hey, what are we doing here?
That was perfect freeze frame.
Yeah.
That one guy in the back, he's like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, like, what
the other dude with the mustache is like, this is not good.
Fisher's Freight have beautiful unis. Yeah, their color scheme is really, really neat. I'm interested to see how they continue to grow that and evolve that over the next couple of years.
What are your thoughts on the railroad crossing stripes? Some people love it, some people dislike it. I think it's pretty creative. I think it's kind of a creative nod, but I understand why some people maybe not stripe fans,
Yeah, it's a lot of stripes. It's a lot of stripes. I appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate the commitment. I appreciate the tip of the cap to they're named after trains, so it makes sense. But I think it's like 4 stripes all the way across. Like it takes up like a full 8 inches of their jersey. It's a lot.
It's a good amount of real estate.
Yeah, so it's a lot. Like if they only had like 2 or 3, I think I'd consider getting one because it's a cool color. Like it's a cool contrast. But yeah, it's a lot of stripes. It's so many.
Yeah. Oh, got a long field goal.
Oh, here we go. Miss it tall.
Matt Georgie boy. Oh, definitely not missing it tall.
Oh,
bar ball.
There you go. Swain, get out. There you go, Swain.
And I gotten a damn, but at least barring penalty, shouldn't eliminate all that time there.
Mm-hmm. Alex checking in. I like the Blizzard uniforms. Yeah, the snow on the shoulders is very cool. I like that.
Yeah, their Adidas updates this season, I will say, definitely was one of them that I think from the partnership was an upgrade. So that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
Chloe Hotline checking in. I love Nashville's white jersey. I just wish they'd go back to their OG color scheme.
Ooh,
agree.
I've had a few people. They either want the OG or they want blue as the primary instead of the black or the white.
Yes, I'm fully on board with that
because they still have that like baby like Elvis type of blue.
That's a 5-yard penalty, and we'll have an untimed down.
Untimed down alert! Untimed down alert!
Oh, New York, what is you doing? Yeah,
5
extra yards.
Good point from Adam Snow here. They would have gone for it in AF1 today. That's right.
Yeah, well, really.
Got it. Go.
Cashed it in.
They give him a second opportunity.
Good for him. Redeem yourself, young man.
Nice stuff.
The Wheeling Miners have my favorite jersey in all leagues from Chloe. Wheeling has some good ones.
It's not
They have
bad.
some really good ones.
Which
Which one in particular, Chloe? The I like the yellow one that says the Valley. I think those are pretty sweet.
I thought they had and I've been kind of in and out on NAL just because of certain stuff this year with me trying to keep up.
Right.
Didn't they have like a coal miner special all black setup?
Yes.
I don't know if they've debuted that or not yet.
Wheeling has an all white, an all black, an all yellow, and then I think they have a navy. Like they have 4 different color schemes going on. It's like, it's right, cool, but which one's your home? Like what's your main jersey? Like nobody knows what your primary jersey is.
Well, I mean, remember Oregon 2 weeks ago? We put pauses like, wait a minute, we got a 4th jersey.
Yeah, you literally just bought these jerseys last week. Like you have black jerseys. Why are you buying new black jerseys?
And this week, as we're recording, they went back to the original home jerseys, which is just like, why did you do that?
Yeah, it's like that's great. Whoa, what is going on here?
Whoa. Wait, what is? Oh, it's like
what in the world is happening?
That is halftime. Halftime entertainment to the max.
All right. Ahead a little bit here. There we go. All right, so 23-21 coming out of the half. I feel like Aaron Garcia's got to light it up here.
You think so? I could start for I could start for Toronto on that one.
Chloe says the all black coal colorway is my favorite. The Yellow Valley and Navy are tied for second.
All right. Well, I'm glad that wasn't something I either misremembered or did a Mandela effect on, because I was like, I swear they had an all black like
that was very
special.
real. Yeah.
We got to get somebody up in there right now.
And then I think one of the games where they wore the navy blue, like the camera quality wasn't ideal. So I was like, are they wearing the black or is that the navy blue? I don't. Oh,
this was, oh my God, that was so good. I think he would have broke it for a TD right away. This is a bad throw.
Damn.
Saying Aaron rolling out of the pocket too. Luckily, good blocks because remember, you're out of the pocket with this, and the linebacker instantly. And I think QBs forget this is that if you leave the pocket with traditional arena rules. Maybe remind me too, because I don't remember the IFL because they've changed so much of the defensive rules this year. At least AF1, you roll out of the pocket like that.
You're fair game.
That linebacker is allowed to go after you. So and I think QBs forget that you shouldn't be leaving the pocket unless you absolutely have to do that.
Right. That pocket can be a prison sometimes, but it also saves you from one extra person trying to take your head off. So you gotta weigh it.
Oh, that's
0 penalties. Wow. Toronto playing a clean ball game.
Discipline there. Yeah, 36 penalty yards right there for New York, killing them right now. Turnovers for Toronto, though, definitely has not helped, of course. So
not good.
Do you see the little tagline there? New York's average for penalty yards is 55 a game in 01, so already well over half getting in the second half.
Sloppy ball club. Oh, Garcia again. Oh, nice dart
in the bread basket.
Unbelievable.
Right in the bread basket.
Yeah, Garcia rolls right, throws left. Basically ran the same play again.
Pretty much. A little bit deeper of a route there, or maybe more time. I can't tell. That's a stat. 85 and 3 TDs already off 4 catches.
What a guy.
Unbelievable.
Separation from the defensive backs.
Again, you rarely see that much separation in this league because of how tight
the field is. Watching this on TNN. So I think a lot of I did see a comment earlier brought up about like what these leagues need is to get on ESPN and FS1. And I do want to say with this comment that it's not as easy as that.
Right.
Like, remember, unless you're getting dollars in your pocket, odds are you are going to be putting some cost in.
Right.
And also keep in mind that like some of these networks, they just don't seem to care as they used to. So, because I get people's sentiment. I want it too, but I also, the more I've gotten into this and the more I've even started working in that space, it's like there's a lot of barriers you have to cross and like make sense for them to pick this up this today instead of like back then, you know.
That makes sense.
What's pretty cool, ENTFLA did get a Madison Square Garden deal announced today. So
I did see that. That'll be interesting to see how that works out for them.
And on MSG Network for those out that way. So have fun with that.
This time he runs away from the defenders.
Whole time looking back.
Yeah.
he knew he was getting
no fear. He knew. He was like, all right, any day now, Aaron.
If this ain't for me, I'm gonna be angry.
Yeah. All right, Salisbury, let it loose. There you go.
1 for 1.
Harold, let's go. Oh no, I jammed a finger.
Yeah, he got dinged up a little. Oh, helmet coming off too. Or not.
He's healthy enough to spike it, so he's good. Yeah. He's all good. He is good to go.
Oh man.
These leagues need the world to wake up and realize arena and indoor is still a sport. People still think that when the AFL collapsed, the sport went with it.
Well,
unfortunately, which time?
Yeah,
Alex, that's the thing where I think you get a little bit of fatigue. Where like, oh, they're back for how long this time? Like we all see some of that stuff. So it's something where the leagues kind of got to help themselves at this point. And I think the IFL's done a good job with that. You know, what are they on? Year 17 of existence, and they're starting to build on it. So it takes a little time, but I think the ecosystem as a whole is making strides in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we're seeing moves in the right way. I'm with you there. Definitely, it's definitely been a change because I think any person, if you aren't like actively involved in this space, I think a lot of people do go and I remember that league. Yeah, it was fun when it lasted. It's like, well, right. I mean, they're still played. It's just that like, people kind of remember it because that was like the heyday of like we talk this era, like everybody was cool with it, like like thousands of people coming into venues, millions of people watching on NBC and like the early years of that contract. So like, it takes a lot to kind of get back into a cultural zeitgeist after you're like kind of considered dead.
Yeah.
And that's a multi-year stage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go from NBC to dead in 1 year, that's tough. That's tough to recover from.
Yeah. Add on AFL 2.0 and it lasts until 19. And then, 3.0, like I understand with the IFL where it's like, we want to stay in control and not have crazy, but then like you have, 3.0 was crazy and it brought a lot of headlines. And so like, you got to find ways to just keep on the pace and find your own way up,
Right. Yeah.
Even like AF1, I think they tried that this year, and I know there's things they still got to correct, and people have been dinging them for that. But I think it's because people want them to, at the end of the day, they want the sport to work. So like
100%,
any good you see with these leagues, they want to see good upward momentum and people embracing it more. So, I get the place of people's concerns with stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you have firsthand experience with it. If you want to talk about your involvement with a certain AF1 team earlier this year that didn't quite make it to the start line, the Arizona Bandits. Like you were involved with the behind the scenes of that. What was that experience like from your perspective?
Yeah, that really killed me. In the sense that like it was really fun several months working and doing the kind of creative work I was doing. Getting to go to tryouts, getting to make film and highlight reels for the said tryouts, social media management, which I had first time I've ever done that in a serious capacity. And I've learned I really love that type of thing. It's just what you learn along the way is you kind of get, and I'll see what this penalty is here.
Little holding action.
Yeah, a little holding action. So, but what you learn along the way is like you do get to learn like kind of what the organization operates as. And I'll be honest with you, the Bandits, as they were named at the time, they had two owners. I talked to the one primary owner I met once on Halloween to finalize the deal. Never saw him again. I saw him one time in person. I got one text closer to the end. That was it. The other one,
Is he down? No, turnover. Wow.
Wow. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Big.
I'm saying, man, Garcia, that's not often you're going to see that, but it's a fun little thing, though, with the momentum in this game. I did check up, and Toronto at this time getting the nod and the home advantage. They actually won 5 straight going in to this game
To even
in
make it.
01.
Huh.
Yeah, so like they were in a lull, and then all of a sudden they just rallied to win the conference by tiebreaker, because both them and New York finished 8-6, and they just won in tiebreakers apparently going in. That's why they hosted. So
Interesting.
definitely was rally season there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. To more speed up the Bandits thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of jumping, but this is a good game. And honestly, the finish it will be great just from what I know of it. Look, ownerships, I don't think realize how much at times go into what you need to do.
Right.
And unless you're like the IFL where they're getting like an ECHL team that has sports management experience. If you're brand new on the scene, like you have to prepare for, I think, every thing that could go wrong and then double up what you're going to spend minimum. And I don't think teams realize that when they come in. And the Bandits are a prime example of that. Just poor management and poor decision making on trying to get things off the ground.
Oh, we caught that.
Yeah, I would say that was
Wow.
Brown with a really good adjustment in the air.
He's the guy who's making a bunch of those pass deflections earlier. Now
So
he's
getting
cash in on the offensive side of the ball. Let's
York
go.
getting on edge right now.
Yeah.
And mid-third quarter, New York better start going. Possessions are going to get, once you get second half and you flip the field, and that's the thing. New York losing that fumble, keep in mind that could have gotten them, if we're playing like a 1-for-1 game, they're ahead by T. Now you're down and you lost that advantage right away.
Stop.
Yeah. So something to consider when you do this is halftime does matter who gets the ball last a lot more, I think, than even in the NFL scene. Because you expect to score every down or every drive. So that's not a good start. Not a good start.
Great.
But yeah. And to end it, I think owners just need to realize that you have to do way more than what you imagine. Just take what you think is expenses and double to triple it, and just be preparing that. And if you can't pay that, get the hell out of the sport. Like, that's just the thing. I get that the allure of owning a professional football team is there. It's not going to stop people. Yeah. It is cool, but it affects so many people when you fail it out. Like this roster they had, I mean, we're talking Malik Henry at quarterback. Akeel Greer was going to be the receiver one. I mean, I could keep going down the list.
The defensive line was what I was most excited about.
Yeah, Oleg Jones, Henry Kellogg being signed on. I mean, oh my God, it really pains me because the team would have been really good in AF1. And honestly, from analyzing the minimal marketing we did for tickets, because we never locked down a venue. And that's one thing I could never do. I could never advertise tickets properly because we didn't have a venue to say. We still had a pretty solid startup like season ticket list. And I know some people in the chat will roll their eyes, but I'm serious. From me living out here, we could have sustained a team with getting the right support, and if they would have just gotten the venue. But if you can't get the venue, you can't advertise tickets. We can't advertise tickets, you can't get new ticket holders. And the thing that also killed me, if you aren't properly in your market and doing things in your market, I'm not talking immediate city. So like, for example, the Rattlers, they're in Glendale, and I'll give them an example, perfect example in market. They're in Glendale, but the Valley the Valley as a county is the 5th largest county in the United States. It is massive. It takes well over an hour to go side to side in the county. Flag though.
Yeah,
definitely.
low contact.
So you got to spread out. They go all the way the opposite side of the county in advertising. But, it's because they want to get that reach. You have to put so much legwork in to do this properly and get this to work,
Right.
So like ECHL, like that stuff with the IFL, it's great because they already have a base. If you're a new team, you're doing way more. You have to do way more. You can't just sit in your office and lean on social media. You have to be on the ground. You have to know what the community's doing. It's not as easy as it looks. That's why I'm like, I applaud like teams like, say, like a Washington, who like, they're not a good football product, but like they're getting out there. They're building business relations. Like it's great that way, Like that's an impressive feat they're doing right there. Just gotta get the football correct. You know?
Yeah, there was a Washington game earlier. It was probably an Oregon game. Statistically, it had to be an Oregon game, where anytime football was not actively being played, they were rattling off sponsors.
Mhm.
Like the announcer was like, "We'd like to thank Pete's Car Wash. We'd like to thank Chipotle. We'd like to like." They were just rattling them off, and I was like, "That's impressive."
It is. Yeah.
That they're able to garner that type of community support for something that's brand new, and they're still building out. So it's to your point, it's impressive what Washington's able to do off the field. We just need that on-field product to
Right.
just kind of sort of match that, just a little bit.
And I'll tell you, winning does cure some ills, but something I've learned, not even in this space, but like if we're going to reference like USFL or USFL and UFL stuff I've done, winning doesn't do everything. So you do have to put in legwork. Like, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing, and I'll watch this play, just fell down, but might get lucky with a bit of penalty to help him with that. Like UFL right now, like I don't know how much you follow outside of this or not with the UFL stuff, but they have a huge ticketing and marketing problem right now. It's a big discussion in the community in terms of like downward sales, no local sponsorships really coming in right now. And thing is, the way the leagues run is they run out of Arlington, but they don't have much local personnel, if any, in these markets.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest examples of it is Birmingham. It's been terribly run from the looks of it, is like, not understanding your fan base, not understanding where your fans are at, and not being present. And, that's a team that's won 3 championships, and it might be up for 4th. They're locked in for the playoffs right now.
Right.
So, and that applies for arena and indoor. Like the best of the best teams, they are always doing something out and about in their city, in their local suburbs and communities. Like that's good like smaller level sports management. And
Right.
You got to do that stuff. That's why I talk with people, and like even with the Bandits, I'm like, I'm setting up social posts. I'm like, hey, are we like going anywhere out and about? What's the strategy? And like it'd be, we're going to football camp here or there. I'm like, yeah, but like we got to go to like where's like the community like event calendar. Like you need to look at that, and you need to like know your chamber of commerce. Like you need to do all this stuff.
Oh, here's a good little rule book
this
graphic.
is great with the box.
This is fantastic.
There's the box.
The boxes between.
Oh yeah. This is the stuff.
This is good explanation.
This is what we need.
You have to stay in that area, in a 5-yard confined area.
Jack was definitely teasing.
Wide open.
Too easy.
For New York. Wide open was Todd Doxson.
Todd Doxson
Mhm.
by himself. But yeah, it's like you mentioned, that the whole UFL model is odd to me, where they fly everybody in just for the game, then fly them back out.
Right.
Oh, that's a little weird. Where like you don't have boots on the ground, so to speak, right? Where I know I post and joke about that on Twitter about like we got boots on the ground. That's true. Like you need boots on the ground in your community to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on there. And if you're only flying in for game day and then you're flying out and you're not going to see them for 2 weeks, how do you stay top of mind? Like,
very
what do you
true.
do?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think some of it's also just as caveat being that Fox owns a large chunk. So, we've had that old little TV drives. It's like, well, that's true. But like, what I've learned even more so is like through the USFL and like their hub system, the aesthetic of not having people in the stands
That's a tough one.
is so powerful. I've never been like a guy that looks at the stands and like immediately goes, this thing is a bad product. I need to get off the TV. I love football for football. But like the more like last 3+ years, I'm like, okay, this is actually a thing. Like people just don't respond well to seeing people not buy tickets, which it's kind of its own catch-22. Because like if you're in the local area, you're watching TV, it's like, well, shouldn't you be buying tickets then? And then you like ask, it's like, well, you see, but it's funny how that works. It really is. But that does take like local marketing and getting to know your market, and they don't do it because, well, that's not a cost they want to pay. It's like, well, maybe you push comes to shove. Honestly, great example was Michigan this year, the Panthers. Best attendance they've had in any year they've ever been, and they pushed a home game just about 12,000, which is a pretty good success for them.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's because they put people in that market and they started doing local marketing as well. And I think that just shows an example, like, especially like we talk this space, it's even more important because it's gate revenue period right now, maybe sans subscriptions. Oh, did he
what
get
a
it?
catch. What a catch by
Wow,
Damian
Harrell.
Harrell. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Salisbury's catching
Oh,
fire this half. Oh, my
what
God.
a dart by Salisbury. Oh, straight to the corner. He put that cap on with the quickness. He's ready to go.
Yeah, let's say the dude's been on fire this half.
By number 7, Damian Harrell. And when you have enough time to allow guys to run the double,
Yeah, we gotta get this replay. Come on.
Yeah, that's a
TNN.
pretty sweet logo. Now the more I'm looking at it.
So like I like the Phantom's primary logo. The secondary logo, if you see on the side patch, I really like that one too. If you'll catch it eventually. Yes, there's the main one.
Very difficult to cover.
You're talking like right here on their
Yeah,
on
because
their
it's got
arm?
like the two wing. It's like wings, or
Mhm.
I don't think they're. Maybe they are wings or something. But like it's the Phantom head or like whatever is like front facing. It's
Ooh,
very
blocked.
good symmetry.
That got blocked. Live ball.
Oh, he almost
Dang,
Penalty flag. You get
almost ran it in.
up around the face mask. Shea Showers. the guilty
Shea
ball.
Showers, the boy.
Nate Bell got the block.
But yeah, you mentioned not wanting to pay for it. Like I think that's extremely ironic because they don't want to pay for it, but they end up paying for it
Well, right.
in a
And I
different
think
way, right?
well, exactly. Like if you're not going to put up the legwork, like it's like, well, should I, as the fan, care? And then you start having that get it knocked down. It's like, well, now we got to figure out how we got to do this again, or we got to,
Right, yeah.
we lose that momentum.
Number 2, face mask.
That was See, I thought he had him in shoulder pads, but I could have been wrong there. See
the
maybe
replay
the
here.
replay
Oh,
here.
ref cam, yes.
Oh my God,
Let's
this
go.
is great.
One of the big guys.
One of the big guys in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect angle.
Okay. And he was the one that threw the flag.
Unbelievably perfect angle.
He's the one that
Look
threw the
at the
flag
ref
too.
One of the big guys.
One of the big guys in the middle.
That's awesome.
Bell got him. Now, Nate Bell's had a
That is so good. I love
Good
that.
form on the throw too.
Yeah. Just a nice, gentle toss.
Here's a chance to do it again.
The ref cam coming in clutch. You know what,
This is
Alex? Alex M, you're right. Bring back the ref cam. Let's start the hashtag. Hashtag bring back the ref cam.
You know what? I agree completely. Like, if there's a way to do it, which I agree with you, there's definitely something we could probably get it to work. Getting the signal to the truck or whatever they use. Like, just got to find a way to knock it out.
Yeah.
There's so much live streaming tech nowadays compared to like then.
There's something that can be done.
Oh my God! Great throw,
What a
better
catch.
feet. Yeah. High motion man he came out of too.
Ooh, little post corner.
Yeah. Safety just didn't react fast enough to that cut, and
That would have been an NFL touchdown.
yeah. Yeah, good post up there. Yeah.
Foot. Yeah. Good
Love
catch.
You don't get beat across your face. It's too easy of a throw. Direct throw. Make him throw it longer and hope.
Good. Yeah, good analysis by Charles Davis here too. Yeah.
He's very good. Like you go back and watch. He's on a ton of these games. He is a very good announcer. Like AFL was blessed to have him for as long as they did.
Yeah. No, he's. I love his commentary when I've been able to catch it on the side.
He is
Really
so
good
good.
job. See that secondary logo though, like that was on Salisbury's jersey.
Let me go back here.
Yeah, you'll see it here if you go back a little bit more. So after John Gregory here,
Almost totally discounted. Right.
I love that logo. Look at
Yeah, I
that.
see. That's pretty
Thing's
sweet. Yeah,
great.
it's like a skull crossbones type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that one I really like. Actually, let me pull something up here. I had a fun fact with the Phantom naming. I just need to find it again.
Take a long drive to do.
Goes back to your point about stop.
Good point from the sports archive. Let's start with all the team's cameras covering the whole field. Fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair rebuttal.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. Maybe get the basics down first.
That's good. You know what? Thank you for humbling us, Sports Archive. We got to do the basics first.
Sometimes we get lost in the rose tinted glasses, and you just
Yeah.
gotta have a guy rip them off your face.
Uh-huh.
Wake up! Look at this though. This is definitely a mess. Fumble right here later on. I mean, that's brutal, especially coming out of that. Like I said, not good. That stuff will kill you right there.
And those possessions there were New York on offense. So the 3 stops.
It's honestly the missed field goal thing, and I don't know how you feel about this. I actually haven't asked you this before, but like, it's why like I get so antsy with field goals in like any of these. 'Cause I'm like, well, if it's about possessions, like, and you have less you have less of a width on the posts. Like, and the IFL, I'll admit, great kickers. Like, there's actually really great, consistent field goal kickers in that league.
Oh yeah.
But like, I'll watch like that, and then I'll watch AF1. I'm like, even AF1, I'm like, yeah, but if you miss, it's a return, and then you like lose any chance for points. And if they score immediately, you're going to be like, well, that was a waste of my time. Now I got to get those points back. You know, it's a, so I always get antsy with the field goals because that's why I'm like fourth. Like I feel like I'm like some aggressor. Like fourth down, always go for the fourth down. Just go for the big money.
I think it's also something too where just talent wise, there's only 4 or 5 kickers that can make a field goal beyond 20 yards, right? Like, or I should say beyond the 20-yard line. Everybody else, you got big hit,
clobber over the middle.
Yeah, it's almost something where it's like Henry now, he can boot it from anywhere, right? Dylan Burkhardt, he can boot it from just about anywhere. But you go beyond a couple of those names, there's probably a name I'm forgetting that is going to rage bait somebody, but there are some really good kickers in AF1, but for the most part, we just don't have the leg talent in that league to be able to even consider a field goal from the midfield.
Yeah,
like you saw in the most recent Oregon game this past weekend, they lined up Manny Higuera in a like drop kick formation. That's a punt. Let's not lie to ourselves.
No, it's
punting the ball.
It's a punt. That is a legal way to get away with punting the ball. So
yeah, and it's crazy to me because like that's one of the big things where like there is no punting in arena football. It's like, well, we need that memo to make its way up to Everett, Washington.
Right.
It's not in the encyclopedia.
There are a few things I think that need to make the memo has to be addressed. It's really at this point an essay. And I'll be you and I can present that essay in a TED Talk format, and we'll see how that goes. So
yes, the PowerPoint will be presented immediately following the conclusion of this game for an additional 3 hours. We're going to talk about the Washington Wolfpack. But speaking of this game, if you just tuned in, we've got 143 people watching. So big shout out to everyone who joined in and started watching this game. Welcome to the Turf Tapes. We do this, try to do it every couple of weeks, but this is the Toronto Phantoms versus the New York Dragons, round 1 of the AF1 playoffs. What a catch.
Gorgeous touch. That's just a beautiful touch on that ball.
Aaron Garcia, what a guy. This took place in July of 2001, first round of the playoffs, like I mentioned. Big shout out to Tim Capper. He has this on his YouTube page, so go give him some love on there. Give him a like, a subscribe, do all that stuff. And while you're in the mood of doing liking and subscribing, make sure you're subscribing to this channel as well. Following on all the socials, all the things and stuff. Appreciate all the support there. And same for our guy, Zach. Make sure you're following him and troll him lightly. Not too heavily, just lightly. Lightly, okay?
Do as you please, you know. If you don't mind, no. Ooh. Right toe tap.
Swain.
Swain. If it's anything, it's usually Swain.
When in doubt, it's Swain. Yeah.
No dark Jerry Kurz trolling, please. I think I can't do that every day. I can maybe do like 1 or 2, but
yeah. 5 catches, 84 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Holy moly.
Locking it in.
True OS right there. I mean, that's as good as you can get. You know,
absolutely.
I did find my fun fact. Hello to Justin.
Hey, Justin, what's going
on? So the Phantoms naming, damn it, I just lost it.
43-42 at the end of the third quarter.
Now this thing's lighting up now.
Yeah.
We're in the money. When you double up in one quarter what you had in a half, we're finding some rhythm now.
I think that's something interesting about these old arena games is that the third quarter, they kind of skyrocket and really heat up. This year, you kind of see the opposite. Like Albany obviously heats up in the third quarter, but most teams, they kind of slow down a little bit in the third quarter as they figure each other out.
Funny how that works, honestly. Like Billings, Southwest Kansas kind of had that vibe for like at least most of the third, and then like the fourth kind of like got some sparks, but it was like really slow third quarter because it was like they're both like, okay, pace is about to drop, you know. we're gonna see who really can take over and kind of like burn clock or whatever.
A gentleman's agreement on like, hey, let's take this third quarter easy. We'll light it up in the fourth. Cool.
Oh, no funny business, man. We saw what you did
agree.
again. So true. Here it is.
Oh, hold
So-
on. Mark Stout's lighting somebody up.
Yeah,
Let's
I
hear it.
can't say anything over that.
Has his team in the lead, has done an excellent job. And he is awfully animated, very upset right now with what's going on defense.
Stop going down. It's third and 10. At least look at me. I'm out in the middle of the field.
Oh my God.
It don't matter. Look at me.
His own
Not
staff.
happy. Not happy.
Hanging loose.
You know it's bad when he's lighting up the
Mark Stout talking to the
Yikes.
coordinator. Not good.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at me.
He look at me.
What's your stat? Drop it on us.
Oh my God. That was kill me. No. So the Phantoms. So naming for the Phantoms is great here. So the original name comes from the Phantom of the Opera, actually, because it was being played at the Cannon
Interesting.
Theater at the time. But there was also a secondary naming coming from the minority owner at the time, Ronnie Strasser. Apparently, he had a business named Phantom Industries,
Okay.
which was a woman's hosiery company. So,
All right.
yeah, that's according to Wikipedia. Now, I mean,
Okay.
you can find it if you want elsewhere, but like that's apparently the secondary portion of this, I guess.
Phantom Industries.
Yeah. Yeah. Rogers was primary, and then I guess he was a minority.
Now New York has an injured player out of
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Did I hear someone say shut the hell up?
delay of game on the kicking team. Number 3, the penalty will be enforced after the kickoff. Shut the hell up.
You heard that on mic?
I definitely heard that.
The ref. Was it the ref who said that?
The referees had not given the
Offense, shut the hell up.
He said it's
Now New
on
York
this.
has an injured player out of
Oh, okay. I was
And you know what else? What's wrong with it? The onside kick. They went for the surprise play.
We're going to enforce after the kickoff. We got the ball. It wasn't a kickoff. The ball was dead. As soon as he kicked it, it's dead. The last game. I didn't signal him to kick it. I didn't do like that.
I think it was the ref.
Interesting.
3 times to get them out. When I blow the whistle and I give a signal like that, that means kick the ball. That's what he knows it. He's been doing it the whole game. Pretty fair.
That ref's not having it. That's an
not at
interesting conversation. He said he kicked it before I blew the whistle. Therefore, that's delay of game.
The absolute access to this is
That's
so
incredible.
good.
That,
John Gregg,
that's fascinating conversation.
Somebody
Yeah.
blew the whistle. I blew it 3 times to get them out. When I blow the whistle and I give a signal like that, that means kick the ball. That's what he knows it. He's been doing it the whole game. Pretty fair explanation by the referee.
That's good.
I mean, yeah. What else do you want to say?
He said he's kicked it off 7 times already. He knows the deal by now.
He kept putting the play in. And this is the worst. The 2 things you said, right? One, he lost a player, possibly lost a player, Andre Goins. Well, actually 3 things. 1, that. 2, they got the ball. See, Goins got the ball on the onside
Yeah.
kick. He got
So it's a
clocked by
surprise
somebody else.
onside.
Mhm.
Player got hurt and they recovered.
But now you wasted the element of surprise on your onside kick. And
Now the
ball wasn't
player's
even
hurt.
played yet.
And your defense is not
Kicker
doing a
kicked
real
it
good
way
job
too
getting
early.
stopped.
Yep.
That's a
Which is why
nightmare.
he went for the
That's
onside
brutal.
kick.
Nightmare.
I mean, they needed that too, but like that is brutal to have in that combo.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
28 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. So no other choice but to kick it deep and hope for coverage.
Deuce.
Off the net.
Recovered deuce.
Call it
Oh, but they did see that one went under the bar, so they actually stopped it that time.
Yeah, they actually stopped it.
now. He must feel on kamikaze duty.
God,
Here's a good one from Krish. I'm gonna be nice, but back then a lot of those dudes were solid, like Romaine and C-Wise, but I don't think they would dominate today's level of talent in the IFL. That's fair. The athlete in today's leagues are very, very good athletes. They're very good at what they do.
It is definitely something I would be fascinated, like in a what if scenario, if you could ever put that together, you know.
Right.
I think because here's one thing I'll say is like a lot of the discussion I've had with like more like folks like the Tims or the Scotts of the world is
Mhm.
like because of the Iron Man, you have players that like we talk like 5'9" guy playing linebacker or something like that, or
Right.
like a little bit less skin on or meat on the bone because you want to be more finesse and able to be lighter and more athletic to play both sides.
Mhm.
Specialized stuff, I think that's where the argument comes. It's like, yeah, maybe you take away some of that specialty element where you have to be, or like you put that in play. I think that could be a good debate on that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Big play. How about Salisbury getting himself free?
Yeah, how about Salisbury? Period. Like, I mean, guys just been balling out this half.
Yeah. Yes, Chris, that is your G. Mark Stout, 24 years ago, coaching the Toronto Phantoms. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, look at that stat there. Last eight passes, 7 completions, 121 yards, and I think it said 4 touchdowns.
He's
So,
laying it up. He's feeling it.
man, definitely locked in at that point.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's the quarterback keeping it with the ISO call.
Didn't know mic'd up was a thing back then. Oh yeah, they got field
Oh,
mics.
yeah.
Ooh, wide receiver handoff. Love
Nice.
it. Love that.
It's good blocking. That's what got that. Love that
Use the
setup.
high man to your advantage.
Mm-hmm. I do like seeing the concept of the high man kind of coming in for the handoff because, like, at some point it's like, well, you have to stay in that alignment. So what do you do when he gets it? Just react and hope to God he doesn't run it outside.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you see it coming. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Until
Like you can't imagine, like the DB's not going to run across the face of the linebackers. That's just not going to happen. So, at that point, it's like, well, best of luck. Linebackers are going to have to react quick,
Hopefully you guys are all on the same page here.
Right.
The kick by George is good.
Oh, jeez.
Kerry Brown.
You got Limp Bizkit on? Limp Bizkit on?
Heard that. Heard Beastie Boys earlier going in the background. Rolling.
What a deal this was. Kerry Brown.
What a vibe. Sideways hats and Limp Bizkit at an arena football game in 2001.
Peak 2000.
Vibes are immaculate.
Stuff all would fit perfectly in WWF.
Oh, yeah. 50 to 42.
Love it.
What a ball game.
My bad day for Kerry Brown.
Toronto's done a good job rushing the ball tonight. 5 times for 19 yards and a touchdown. New York has not attempted a rushing play yet.
New York has not attempted a rushing play. Yeah, when you have Aaron Garcia, I wouldn't either. Just let him fling it.
So I love that he said that. When I was looking up for this game and getting ready, Aaron Garcia was the lead rusher for the Dragons in 2001 as well. He had 32 rushing yards on the season.
32 rushing yards on 40 attempts.
A crisp 32.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, New York was definitely we're just going to throw it, and that's all we do.
Yeah.
Run is a very selective thing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 18, half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul.
Brutal. That was a good return too to get called back that way.
I really like what Toronto has done on kick coverage tonight because New York had the number 2 team in kick return yardage in the regular season, averaging over 21 yards a return. Toronto's really bottled them up tonight, made them go the long field after kick plays.
Makes it tough, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You don't want to keep going the long run.
Let's see.
Even with Aaron Garcia as your trigger man.
From the 6-yard line. Garcia's got some time.
Ooh.
The receiver.
There you go.
What a hit. Good
Yeah,
lord.
freaking drove. But yeah, good job catch. Earlier in the game, I did like a concept they did where, it wasn't like a full committed, like high motion. What they did was they all lined up at the line, and then the high motion was you have a guy that's backpedals maybe like 5 steps and then high motions it. It was like a quick,
Mhm.
it was almost like a quick one,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was for speed or I don't know if it was for speed for tempo, but I like the idea if you're trying to like create something else, or I don't know, get a first cut. So
Yeah, 100. I think it's a timing thing where like you get the DB in a pattern of like, all right, he's going to run 8 yards back.
oh, look at that open Nate! Oh my God, it's wide open.
New York. How did he get open?
That's hey.
Great question. How did he get open?
Well, show us the replay.
Yeah, show us the replay now. Right now.
Come on, chop. Get the.
Odd docs him.
I'm imagining back then it's the guy and with the replays in these setups, you have a guy basically like almost like a scroll wheel type of thing where you're like basically woo, come on, gotta get back to where that point is.
He's going as fast as he physically can, trying to get this replay queued up.
It's like, all right, we'll go through the XP. Give me a little more time. Let this guy go ahead next broadcast. He's not fast enough.
Yeah. What's interesting, they're not chasing points yet.
Yeah, let's see.
So they were down by 8. They scored a touchdown. They kicked the extra point. They're down by 1. So they're not going for the 2 yet.
Yeah.
I think they know they would still have to score again anyway.
Right. I mean, you might as well, I don't know, not at the time per se. You still can play some defense and get a stop. So,
for one stop in this half.
Deuce. So many.
Deuce.
How many points? How much can New York have won by, or possibly won by, if they just had the deuce rule back then?
Was that 4 points for New York and 2 points for Toronto right now?
Yeah.
It'd be 53-52.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toronto be on edge. Yeah. Look at that stat line. I mean, and Garcia with 7 TDs, and he's the one currently down.
He has 299, 7 touchdowns, and he's losing.
Look at this.
Unbelievable.
Salisbury's, what Salisbury's remind me of is almost like a Dalton Cole performance. It's like 50% completion. He's got these bombs that are landing. Not as many turnovers right now, but he's landing these passes.
When he hits, it's for 30 yards. It's either 30 yards or nothing.
Yes.
What a dart, Salisbury. Krish, I appreciate this. Not sure if I'm the best candidate for the job. Trey will be a GM next year if he wants to house. Listen, I'll help out. I'll do some research. I don't know if I'm GM material yet, but
see what you should angle for if you don't want to full GM is go consultant.
There you go. That's where the money's at.
That's the money.
Yeah, I'm an independent consultant.
Get a few teams being like, we tried everything and we tried nothing and we're out of ideas.
Yes,
we need you.
Bring in the podcaster. You
Bring in the
got
podcaster. He reads the field.
This guy watches way too many. Oh,
God. Man.
Anyone taking pictures with a flip phone? I don't know. That's a great question. We got to be on flip phone watch on the sidelines.
We've gotten a lot of the 2000s marks for like culture knocked off, but I haven't seen a flip phone either.
Oh, that should have been picked.
He definitely was there, man.
Should have been picked. He read it.
Oh my God.
If he had just a little bit of stickum on his gloves, that would have been the other way. Just a little bit, not even a lot.
Absolutely brutal.
Oh.
Even at this stage of your life, still have that nightmare of having the coach screaming at you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Salisbury's got that like Napoleon Dynamite look to him, like the open teeth thing.
Yeah, just a
forever
slack jawed. Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Gosh. Oh man, took him for a ride.
Spin cycle, good balance with the arm, keeping him up. It was awesome. And like it's funny is like keep in mind like this is Harrell in like I believe his 3rd year. So like this was his breakout year. Like
the surface, yeah.
You've heard about Kevin Swain. Well, guess what?
Oh my God! The Phantom's freaking rag on top's great.
That's incredible.
Wonder if any of those are floating around anywhere.
Yeah, he played for 10 more years.
Mm-hmm.
and this was probably
rolling. Oh my God.
I'm looking at the stats here. This year with Toronto, 98 catches, 1340, and 20 touchdowns. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons that are better than that over the next 10 years.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
That is nuts.
Insane to think about.
Like that's it. Like just thinking that's like the first year where it's like, okay, I broke out. Now I'm gonna just keep going up.
I caught 98 catches. I'm warmed up now.
I'm warmed up.
Jeez,
I'm ready to hit Swain numbers, guys. Let's go.
Batting practice is over. Let's put me in the game this time. Nuts.
Oh, it's gold.
A a big help to us. He brings a little bit.
Oh, okay. This is neat. You see how this is like the interview in the square, like
Picture in
talking about a
picture,
player. Yeah.
He's also more familiar with receivers, having been.
That's one of the things I love about these old games too, is you pick up little nuggets like this where it's like, man, that would be cool if you had Damon Ware talking about Sam Castronova mid-game like that. Like that would that'd be so sweet.
Yeah, having that whole interview to reference, and you can like cut it in and all that. I'll be honest with you, like that's they do this with highlights a little more than whatnot when I watch like some European sports. So like funny, like I don't know why. I mean, I'm into like Australian rules football. It's actually kind of fun. You should check that out.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of this great like picture-in-picture work with like highlights and such, where it's like you can see it, but it doesn't distract from what's happening on screen. Like it's really well produced. And that was like kind of help with reference for an interview, but that was pretty cool. Like it's creative. I like that stuff. They got that over the middle, like quick in post all day.
Yep.
Is there all
figured out how to not get it deflected.
Yeah, difference is just don't throw it to the jack linebacker section and you're good to go.
Directly over the jack.
Just don't let Brown deflect it and you're doing great.
Throw it away from K Brown. You're good.
Right.
Alex, how many games did they play back then? And this season they played 14. I think they eventually got to 16 in a season, just like the NFL. So it was a pretty long season for these guys.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. 14 was this year for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was deflected
again.
If it was deflected, good job coming back.
It's tough. It's tough when you think about the number of games because, like, it's intended to be a league of development, get people to the next level, right? But then, like, by the time season's over, training camps have already begun. So it's like the arena season might be too long in some situations if the goal is to get people back outside, to get people back in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think that's really what it comes down to. So, like, nowadays, I think we see with like the arena scene and even with the UFL, like the message is come more and more across is like we're developing players to get up and about. You know, this is a stop, and hopefully we get them a good place to stop and then get another spot. You know, if you want to keep playing, that's great. But we hope you move on. You know, whereas like you're looking at this, you know, and sure, teams like there are players at the time in arena that were moving up to NFL and getting their shot, but because of the different economic dynamics, it was like you can hey, we want you here for a career if you want. Like you don't have to move on. We want you here. Like you're developing if you like, but like we like arena players, you know, the guy that knows the arena skill set. So yeah. Oh my God,
Wayne again.
Yeah, just
he is so good.
So fluid of a passing motion. And then I mean that guy's just it's just different.
He is so good.
It's just different.
I think there was a player, I forget which player, I don't even remember what team it was. There was somebody that like played in the NFL, then played arena season, and then played overseas in Europe, and then played back in the NFL all in like a calendar year. Like he played like 4 seasons of football in like a year and a half. Like it was something crazy where I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I got to do some research.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll have to find the guy. And I think it was like a defensive lineman or something. It was like somebody who gets a ton of action. Like it's not like a kicker or something where he's out there 10 plays a game.
Oh, steady now.
See?
No way.
Oh my God.
That was for 2. Dude, that was for 2.
2 to tie it.
Keeping it alive.
2 to tie it. Garcia, sneaky mobile.
That was great.
Mark inside himself.
Mark looks like he died inside a little bit.
Chris, come get your boy. Look at your boy. He is just beside himself right now.
Got to go yell at a defensive coordinator again.
Look at me.
Hey, you talk to me.
Look at me. To quote Justin in the comments, look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me. 57-57. What a ball game.
That was a heck of a throw.
All right, final 5 minutes. Let's lock in, everybody. Lock in.
Charlie Davidson having some problems, and we'll take a touchback. Oh, talk to John Gregory. Just with any
This we're going to be in.
There we go. Another little picture-in-picture action.
Nice. I don't know. You don't see that stuff as much anymore.
I'm
you know?
excited about. I think we can play with anybody in the league. And I think a lot of times determinations of games for us, especially early, was bad bounces off the net and fumbles and that kind of stuff. And if the breaks balance out, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
There you go, John.
Yeah.
Charles, as you've been calling.
Yeah, the pieces.
Half hour, 40 minutes if they can get a stop.
Yeah, and if the defense isn't.
Yeah, I love the picture-in-picture. That's. I would love to see that come back.
Very slick.
Game. It's back to even. That should only help their defense mentally.
Oh,
We haven't seen a little slip screen, a little big man action. We haven't really seen that since like the first quarter.
yeah. I think it looks like this one game. It looks like they just they tried and like prodded it a little bit, and then just seems like both teams kind of bailed and went, okay, maybe we can get like the more intermediate stuff, because
Right.
like second half especially, it looks like the short game and like trying to like just get the ball out and like in the like right off the intermediate flat. They just kind of went, screw it. We're finding avenues now and getting guys open. So I don't know, dictating the flow of the game. I guess that's what's happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
it
makes sense
changes.
when you have Harrell dominating the outside, you have Swain
Right.
dominating the
Oh,
outside.
did you see that bull rush? Good God. Good job getting it out.
Yeah, he was
Salisbury was looking into the pearly gates right here. I mean, that was gonna be nasty.
that running back got caught flat-footed. Oh no.
Gotta get low. He definitely was not low.
He was so not low. Oh man.
Oh my God. Just enough.
Oh boy.
I did it, coach. I got in the way.
Yeah, you were a tackling dummy. That's all you were, dude.
Man.
I slowed him down, coach. Are you proud of me?
Sure, whatever. Get back on the turf.
Yeah. Try to stop him this time. How about that?
You talk to me.
Yeah. Talk to me. There you go, Harrow.
Oh yeah, Harold getting it down now.
Another first down to the 19-yard line of New York. He turns Sean King around. That's a gain of 16.
Defenders. It gives him a great opportunity to make a big play.
Nice little throw across the
Nice
middle.
ball by Salisbury. See Harrell getting King.
Look at him holding that thing like a loaf of bread. Look at
Yeah,
him.
for real. So loose.
He's not tucking it. He's like, look, you put no fear in my heart.
What is,
Unbelievable.
what is that? Lamar Jackson out there? Like
He's just juking and jiving out there, man.
I guess at that point, it'd be Michael Vick if we were doing like an in-era comparison.
Right, yeah. Ooh, little run action.
Hey, okay.
All right. See, they might be taking the clock into consideration at this point.
I think you're right. I mean, that was 5 minutes, so like you have to really do. I don't know. You have to play specifically and control. Not want to get too I think greedy here. With
You almost
trying to kill
don't
the
want to
clock off.
score until the 1 minute warning.
Right. I mean, as it's been said so many a time, like, I mean, that's just forever. 2 minutes is forever. 50
Yeah.
seconds is forever. 25 is plenty enough.
I think it's such a delicate dance too, where it's like you don't want to score too quickly, but also you don't want to pass up on an opportunity to score at all.
Right. Like that, for example. That could have been a score
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, so it's like it's a tricky thing. Like Tulsa earlier this year, they had a game against Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They scored on 2nd and goal to go ahead and gave Green Bay a chance with 30 seconds left to go down and tie it. If they fall down at the 1 and run the clock down to 5 seconds, then just run it in with TJ Edwards, which you're going to do.
Right.
They win that game. But that's a classic example of scoring too quick. So it's like, man, how do you balance that?
Yeah. I mean, arena is so tough because, like, you just, I don't know, slightly less players, which means you get a little bit more space generally. And I mean, you're just going to find those opportunities. Oh, now that will, if you didn't
Take
make
it down to
back,
the 1.
Yeah.
Again, I'm surprised anyone runs.
Yeah. So now we get to the 1 minute.
Right. In this league, because you're running guys to just a stack of humanity.
Now we got to focus on getting that positive yardage or score, which I mean,
Mm-hmm.
now you're talking delicate dances as all heck when you're inside the 5,
Yeah.
3 catches and 39 yards on this drive alone. First and goal, Toronto. Salisbury back to throw.
No.
Yeah.
It's almost to a point where when you're like at the 4, taking a delay of game's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Give yourself a little extra real estate to work with.
Mhm.
Like that's not a bad thing.
Well, again, I think what would be a good one is say you did like what we saw earlier where they did the strong side run. You're like put Brown
Right.
in more as like a kind of like a tight end, and then you run it. Maybe you get some yard, maybe you get to the line of scrimmage. Ideally, you get maybe a yard or something. Then you could do it, run it down, delay a game, then take a few shots of passes,
Right.
Plus here you're tied. So like overtime ain't terrible. I don't remember what the old school OT is back in the day, but I don't know if it's sudden death or not, but yeah.
Here's an interesting stat. 3 of 4 on third downs. They've only had 4 third downs the entire game.
They just kept moving.
They were so successful on first and second down that they just marched right down the field.
Why even bother? We're just gonna don't even wait around for that.
No, yeah, don't waste any time. All right, here we go. Jump ball.
Oh wow!
Oh, the wall. Out of bounds.
I mean, I know there's a little bit more in the end zone, but
Did he just not come down with it?
I'm curious, man, because that looked like he had it in his in his chest there. Great angle here they're gonna get.
Good ball on the fade.
Oh no way! It would be like that.
I think in this era you had to get a foot down.
Okay,
I don't think he had a foot down.
that could be it.
In today's game, if like the wall is an extension of the ground, basically.
Mhm.
You just have to possess it, right, and cross the goal line.
Oh, Charles is saying it right there, actually.
Yeah.
With 51 seconds to go, Toronto calls a timeout.
See, I think that's exactly what you're talking about right there, Trey. Is that wasn't able to get that that drag a little bit.
Yeah, he hit the wall before he hit the ground. Therefore, he's out.
Which, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, that's something I'm so used to where it's like, if as long as it touches the wall and they just don't drop it falling over the wall, then you're good to go.
Right, yeah.
He does not want to turn the ball over to Aaron Garcia with a chance for a touchdown to beat him.
You do not want to do that.
No, that's a very bad idea.
No, that is
Please do not.
that is danger.
Let's see. Foot.
I mean, yeah,
That's so close.
I don't know if it's
so
two.
close.
And I do believe the rule is 1 foot in this league, just as you wouldn't count.
Yeah, it was 1 foot.
Mm.
Yeah, that's so close.
Tough.
Brutal. All right, here we go. 4th and goal.
Oh man, oh my God, this is gonna be. Does he get it?
Oh, there you go. He came down with that one for sure. Stout getting fired up. Look at him.
Nobody around him that time.
Mm-mm.
Wow. 45
Fired
still a
up,
lot
Stout.
too.
That's a lot of time. That is so much time.
And kudos to that second half offense. That's say Salisbury coming in as a backup there. And O'Hara's not a bad QB who was starting the beginning of the season. Like,
Yeah.
he has his own solid history in sports. So
Pat O'Hara's nice. Fun fact about Pat O'Hara, he's a football consultant for Hollywood movies.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
He's one I want to have on Off the Wall someday. He's a Orlando Predator legend. He's somebody I want to pick his brain so badly just because it's like, how are you a football consultant?
It's a sweet gig, man.
Yeah. Like his job is to make sure that football scenes are realistic in movies.
That is a sweet gig.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
I wonder if he had any say in the Kurt Warner film with like the arena scenes.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Honestly, he probably did. Rolling.
Rolling.
Look at him. Look at the crowd getting into
Yeah,
it.
go back. Please
see
go
the
back.
crowd? See the crowd doing the rolling?
Yes. God, see this again.
What execution on that play.
Rolling.
My guy is tarps off in the Rogers Center.
Shirtless
doing the rolling.
dude. That's awesome.
Great call, but Mark
Incredible work.
Plenty of time as he's
How did
I can't believe they left him.
How did 7 get lost in traffic? Like, of all the guys to lose in traffic, don't lose that guy.
Yeah, it's amazing he had that much clearance compared like last play. Oh, and look right there. You see it.
Oh,
You see how he doubled up? Oh,
yeah. So look at his DB. The DB that's on him right here, he ends up picking up the other guy who's crossing. But the other guy who's crossing doesn't pick up 7.
he must have saw something because like that's disaster right there to let the guy like that go free.
Worst possible player for that to happen.
Man.
Worst possible time for that to happen.
Look at Stout too. I mean that's capturing the moment in that feeling.
Fired up. Drop to his knees. Let's go.
I love this.
Let's go. Stout is unbelievable.
Aaron Garcia's on the other end of that bench. Doesn't want him to have a chance to beat him.
4 catches, 43 yards on that drive for Harrell.
Justin, it was me in another life,
4
Tracy.
TDs, all this
Love it.
for Harrell.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. 4 touchdowns tonight.
Near your hard line.
Good day at the office there.
On a kick return. What are the odds of that happening?
45 seconds to go. Here's Matt George's kick.
All right, off the net. Here we go.
Right off the net.
Oh, he got lit up.
It's just like
Good Lord.
it looked like straight out of like how to read football road to glory type of tackle.
Yeah,
you know?
no
You
kidding.
get those like high ones where you push them down.
Yeah, my God.
Jason Walters, a mid-season pickup.
Oh, he tried ducking him and it definitely made
He
it
ran
worse.
right into him.
Yeah.
Brought him in from the Gladiators.
Oh, dang, man.
Playing in the playoffs.
That looked like it hurt so bad.
Right all in the gut.
Whoa, Jason Walters giving it up.
64, 57.
90 or sorry, 94. What am I saying? 24 yards to glory. Good God.
Garcia, King to the 11.
Here we go.
Sorry, 44 years of glory. I'm out of it.
Not a numbers guy.
There's nothing here on the desk. It's just I got water. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right, let's see, Garcia. See what you got.
One shining moment.
Mm-hmm. First round of the playoffs, down 7 in another country.
In another country. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Oh shit, we didn't even
Ooh.
talk about the international stuff yet.
Oh, true, yeah.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Ooh. Oh, what a catch!
What?
Oh,
No, what's the flag though? Oh my God, that was beautiful as a throw.
Executed a takedown.
Oh, is it a hold?
Block.
That might be a hold.
Kanopka got free and put pressure on Garcia.
And Nate Bell got full hold of him. This one's almost certainly coming back.
Damn.
Oh my God. Absolutely brutal.
Offsetting.
Offsetting penalties. Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't help.
Holding offense, number 98. Holding defense, number 1. The penalty's offset.
So one holding on the line, one holding in the secondary offsets.
Offsetting. Now
Absolutely brutal. Oh my God, dude.
God, that was such a good
That's
catch.
such a good throw. Like here's the angle, yeah.
Nate Bell working on number 54, Kanopka.
Yeah, there's the hold right there.
Oh, easily. Look at how he did. He's immediately off.
and here's in the secondary. Look at this from Charlie Davidson.
Yeah, he mugged him.
Yep, that hold there as well.
Yeah, you gotta let go, Charlie.
Yeah.
Gotta let go.
Or hit the receiver after
That's good enough.
beyond the 5-yard zone.
27 seconds to go. Ronnie
There you go. Get it to Swain.
makes the tackle.
Yep.
Down
And
he
you got the
goes.
timeouts.
Yep. Call
He does
timeout.
it himself.
Mhm.
Man can do everything.
20 seconds to go.
Jump balls, streaks, across the field, calling timeout.
18 yards.
Give him the coach's headset.
Yeah, get him on there. Here we go.
Oh no.
20 yards to defend for Toronto. Lead by touchdown. They throw it
Get
to
it out. Get it out. Yep.
Mm,
He gets out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
solid route concept there too. Like I said, no
Yeah.
one's there, so let him go get the yards. You know.
Let the slot guy, get the yards and get
9
close.
remaining for both clubs.
You know, it's nice to be at the 10-yard line, but also what happens now? The field's constricted.
Yep.
Because now
Great
call
by,
back at the end
Charles
zone,
Davies.
there's an extra
So
defender.
true.
You can only go so far. They can't run past you. Good job by Sean King stopping the clock. Great position for New York to be in. But for Toronto,
They got
who's the extra defender, you play underneath
if they
him,
throw
you
it
make the
quick, they
throw
got 3 shots at the end zone.
Garcia.
First shot.
Zone for Swain.
Oh, well overthrown.
10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's not for 2. If you're lucky, 3 if it's real quick. But like,
I don't recall.
well,
how many
actually, you only
timeouts
got
they had.
2. So like, if you aren't converting this first down, so look at that
Go.
number. Third most in postseason history at 383. You know,
This guy is absurd. He's another one. He was just getting started.
right. I mean,
Like,
his early years in Iowa and New York really took him off. You know.
Yeah, he was just beginning to put the Infinity Gauntlet on and be who he is.
Telling the guys to get their hands down, meaning he wants them to chop them at the line of scrimmage so he hasn't
You know, this arena filled out pretty nicely too.
Yeah,
Beginning of
yeah.
the game, I noticed. I was like, "Ugh, this is not good."
A solid crowd to get things going here towards the end.
Good quarterbacking by Aaron Garcia.
I think they just put 1 second back on the clock. I heard. That's where Leftwood said it.
They,
Yeah, I don't know if getting
10
the
seconds. Oh, 110.
yeah, 110. Oh, good
Oops,
lord.
oops.
Okay. Nope. Delete.
Get off. Hey,
I think you're at a point now where like getting a first down might actually hurt you spacing wise.
maybe right. Yeah.
Swain.
'Cause, I mean, like you were right. You aren't wrong. Oh, there's the third down conversion list. So
Only
like
4.
2 of 4
Again.
today.
In motion right now. Flooding the right side. Quickly.
Oh, no,
just
my
dropped
gosh.
it.
Oh
Clock
my
never
gosh,
ran, though.
Conley.
It's a route that has worked all game long because
Justin hit
Now
the
they're
wall.
running the clock. What?
been underneath like that.
Oh, they messed up the clock.
Yeah, definitely.
5 seconds, maybe 8 seconds.
8 seconds because
This crowd's like, yeah, it's over. Get out of
Over,
here.
get out of here. Yeah, strike up the band. Get out.
The band's on the field. The cheerleaders are on the field. Oh, there you go. Give him 7.
So now they call the timeout.
Now Conley though, that's a brutal drop. I don't know if it would have gone for TD, but it would have gotten closer at least.
Yeah.
Now it's 4th down, so like not only you got to convert. Period. Like it's not even like extra plays.
a little bit of 8 and 6 spot.
Call here.
Down on the second.
All right, here we go. 4th and 1, 7 seconds left. This is it.
Running yourself out of time, and they definitely do not run the football.
Absolutely not. Throw it in the end zone. Swain right. Conley in the slot. Here comes King.
Here we go.
4th and goal.
Loading up.
Throws end zone, man.
Oh, deflection to end it.
What a great play.
Oh,
he's-
man.
Don's living.
Coach Greg is pissed.
There was a man back there, but Del Lee.
Oh,
came in and
man.
broke it up.
Oh, that was a great defensive play there.
Oh, he is so mad. Look
tell
at
it.
Coach Gregory. He kicks the wall behind.
The absolute arm and leg motions. My God.
He is furious. His rage cannot be contained.
Meanwhile, Mr. Stout here
That
is like,
Stout is fired up.
loses his mind. And John's
man.
gone.
Look,
See this.
You called it.
gone for
He
DB
read it
just had the better
beautifully.
angle. Yeah.
The DB left his man, like, where
Here's
they
the
they're just playing his own, yeah.
Yeah, that's zone concept. You know, they talk. I
Stuck
think
to his own.
yeah. Last week on the one of the UFO broadcasts, they were talking about reading. Sometimes read the QB's eyes. They're not always going to lie, or
Right.
at some point, like that's just really good job reading the quarterback on that play.
You use the back of the end zone as an extra defender. You play underneath.
All right, here's what they just snap it and throw it as far as they can. That's all they do. Snap it and throw it. Get it out.
Aaron Garcia tried to loft it a little bit over the top. Couldn't quite get it there.
Here's the final play, and that's going to do
Oh,
it.
you just ran back.
That
Yeah,
works too.
kill the time.
That
Yeah.
works Yeah, that works.
Guess we only
Just
got
as
1
well.
second. You don't got to worry about the forward progress rules. So
Yeah, exactly.
Heck
Chad
of a game.
Salisbury gets the win for Toronto.
Immaculate second half for that guy. That's for damn sure.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Mhm.
Let me get the screenshot for socials here. Get Connell Spain in the background. The
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Let's go. Well, that's the game. Good Lord. What a game. There's a lot to digest from that one.
It's not bad. I was to say for Toronto. I mean, it's fascinating. Like looking back, that was like the high point of that franchise, like through its iterations.
Right.
Getting that wild card win, moving on the next week. Looking back, because like honestly, it's amazing if you look at the history of this team, very chaotic all over the place, trying to make the Northeast work, and then moving to Toronto after getting sold. So like,
Right.
yeah.
They kept it in the region. It just didn't work. Much like a lot of teams back in that era. You think that this era is turbulent. That era didn't have social media to really show how turbulent some of the stuff was back then. Would not have been good.
Yeah, good luck keeping up with that.
Yeah, we'd be remembering that era very differently if some of that stuff was broadcast to everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but this was a very fun game. Again, Toronto Phantoms, New York Dragons, 2001 playoffs. Big shout out to Tim Capper again on YouTube for having the game on his channel. Go give him a like. Go give him a subscribe on the channel. He's got some good stuff on there. And again, while you're doing all that, make sure you do the same for Off the Wall FB here. We're on all socials. Go give Zach a follow. He does a lot of cool stuff with the UFL and a lot of spring football. What shows are you involved with, Zach?
I've got two. You got the UFL podcast that's Thursday afternoons, just right now for the UFL season, and right now it's weekly until the season's over. So be ready for that, and also have Around the UFL that's live Mondays 6:00 Eastern, same channel, UFL podcast on social, mostly on the YouTube, but Around the UFL if you want social, and doing those live through the season as well. And then
awesome
for the main show, UFL podcast, we're actually doing a road trip doc for the UFL championship. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I will fly out to Houston, meet up my co-host who lives out that way. We are going to drive from Houston to St. Louis. Going to hit up Route 66 after we pass Dallas. So it's going to be a good time. It's our most ambitious project we've done as creators in this space. So we're really looking forward to it. Can't wait to show it off.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. I'm excited to see it take form. It's excited to see it all take place live on social, and then whatever you end up producing and posting out there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be good. Sports
Archive. One last question here. What do you think about the new Dragons? I don't know what to think, honestly. The ENTFLA. There's a lot we don't know, and it seems like they've got started on the right foot, but only time will tell. The TAL, ENTFLA, it's an interesting concept. We'll have to see if that's the tried and true method of leagues going forward. But yeah, we only have to wait and see at this point.
Yeah, I don't have much to add on to that, except that I think the Dragons are kind of their marquee team to kind of showcase the league, just based on how they've marketed everything. I think for them, in terms of the team's potential, we'll find out. I don't like assuming upward movement right away on anything, but I think just let's let this breathe, see what they do, and then see what happens with the ENTFLA. I'm going to call it ENTFLA because I don't like saying the acronym so much. But just let them breathe. I think that's the thing, because I'm curious. It's a big market, but it's a smaller league. So, and they're using Nassau, which is an arena that needs a tenant. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it works out for both parties. Yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see how all that takes place. On Thursday, we got a new episode of Off the Wall dropping. Got a head coach from a certain TAL league team. So
nice.
Little teaser there. That season is right around the corner. And then we got a whole weekend of AF1, IFL, and NAL shenanigans this upcoming weekend. So no shortage of fun and things and stuff in the arena and indoor football world. Zach, got any parting words for the people before we get out of here?
Look, I just think honestly, just keep enjoying the sport. It's going to keep going upward. I do think there's a lot of great things happening right now in this space. If you want, highlight where you can, and let's just keep enjoying some good football. I think it's a really good spot to be in right now, and there's a lot of good upward stuff. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously the past 24 months or so have been somewhat turbulent, more turbulent than a lot of people would want. But like you said, I think it's in a good spot now where got some strong roots in multiple organizations. I think we're going to see some really cool things happen over the next couple of years, and I'm excited to be along on the journey and, going continuing stuff like this to make sure that we're providing access to as many people as possible.
Darn right, man. Let's do it.
Cool. Well, Zach, this was a ton of fun. I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on here. We'll definitely have to do this again. We'll pick another game out in the old arena universe to watch and analyze, and especially during the off season. This is what keeps me going.
Yeah, if I wasn't convinced to come on for a game now, I'm like even more confident. You've got me in the historical path. That's gonna be my once we hit the summer. I'm just gonna be binging this stuff. So I'm ready now. Bring me more of the old school watch. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm so.
I might have started something very bad for you. You might not ever do anything else again.
My friends will have a lot of questions. You playing pickleball today? Oh wait. No.
Sorry, I'm not going outside. I have the 2000 semifinals to watch between Toronto and Iowa.
You what? He doesn't respond back ever again.
Yes, you wouldn't get it. Yeah, block. Well, this was a ton of fun, Zach. Like I said, really appreciate everyone for tuning in as well. I appreciate everyone hopping in here and checking it out. So follow us on socials, and we'll be around for the rest of the week or the rest of the season even. This weekend we got a fun slate of games. So see you on socials, come say hi, and let's enjoy this weekend of football, right? Jeez. Stop.